I'm back to it being a nice bag.
Oh, nice bag.
No, it's cool.
All right, so I want to do that. But listen, the reason I bring up gift giving in the first place is because a young Casey boy here posed something to us this weekend.
Yeah.
Or at least he told us about yesterday. Hang on a second. Before you go on, what are you drinking?
Dude,
is that soup?
It's not. And I'm so mad right now. I think we're changing topics.
It looks like tomato soup. I'm sorry. I saw it in a cup, and I'm like, what is that?
You know how like my poops lately have been like so awesome?
Your
Like
boobs?
My poops.
Oh,
yeah.
I have awesome boobs.
My boobs have been so great.
All right, so is this...
She got beautiful boobies.
Okay, we'll talk about this later.
Is it your music?
It is.
Okay.
But, so we have talked about this many, many times.
Okay.
The deal. Okay.
About gift giving.
And so many times, guys and girls probably have been misled into thinking that they are not going to exchange gifts on a certain, usually Christmas, maybe anniversary. We're not going to exchange gifts.
So it's that.
And what have we said about the deal, Steve?
It's like the unicorn. It doesn't exist.
There is no deal.
There is no deal.
Yeah, there's no deal.
There's no deal.
You think you made a deal? There is no deal.
There is no deal.
Yeah.
So we made a deal yesterday.
Oh,
There is no deal.
You made a deal yesterday.
Dude, like I don't.
What makes you believe this deal?
Who posed it?
My
will
wife.
hold?
Okay.
My wife posed the deal. I just, so Steve, I just go back to there.
Yeah,
we had a
man.
deal a few years ago, and I was
There is
sitting.
no deal.
I was sitting on my couch watching the Eagles game.
There is no deal.
Christmas Eve was on a Sunday. Okay, so it is December 24th.
Right.
And I'm sitting on my couch, thinking that there's a deal, and I'm watching the Eagles game,
There
and
is no deal.
I went into an absolute panic. I was like, I didn't get anything.
Right.
There's a deal, but there is no. And I sprung up off of my couch.
Wait a minute.
And I darted out the door, and I went to the jewelry store. I went to Bernard.
Okay.
What made you think that there was no deal? If you had, or that there was a deal? What?
There was a deal.
All right.
You and your wife made a deal.
We made a deal.
No gifts. So it's right down to the wire.
There was a deal.
You have an epiphany.
Yes.
You've been set up.
Uh-huh.
All right.
It was just an epiphany?
It was an epiphany.
Did that
That's
bear
it.
out?
Yes! There was no deal.
She had not gotten you anything.
She had gotten me
She
stuff.
had gotten him.
No deal. Now listen, I did better than she did, but I woke up on Christmas morning and there were presents waiting for me. There was no deal. So now yesterday.
There's an update. You made a deal yesterday.
Made a deal. My wife she was like, we will even shake on this, okay? We're going to shake on this deal. And she grabbed my hand and she shook it. She goes, I'm even grabbing your elbow to show you how serious I am about this deal.
Here's what happens, though, is that if she does the majority of the shopping, or even if she does any of the shopping, sometimes you're out, or even if you're just like scrolling through the internet, different deals online, you'll come across something and you're like, oh, he would really like that.
She's right.
I'm going to grab that. We're not doing gifts, but I'm just going to grab that. And then sometimes it adds up. And like you said, Christmas morning, there's a bunch of gifts under the tree.
So, Kathy, let's say, okay, she's going through the websites or something pops up. What's that playing in the background? Jingle bells. Oh, it's a little snow. I'm going to get him something. So you got to remember this, Casey.
Yeah.
History. Neville Chamberlain made a deal with Hitler to not attack England. And we know how that played out. So always remember, there is no deal.
Your wife is Hitler.
Your wife is Hitler and you're Neville Chamberlain.
Okay. So here's where I
mean, Diane is much nicer.
She's way nicer.
That correlation. She's nothing like Hitler.
Here is the
except when it comes to the deal.
Here's the other rub about said deal.
Yes.
She was like, listen, there are other things that we need to get. So we have to spend our money on things that we need. Okay. So to me, sounds like you're getting some stuff for Christmas.
Right.
And I'm not.
Right.
She's getting deck furniture, and I'm not getting anything. Oh, you can say the deck furniture's for me.
Right.
But I don't care about deck furniture.
Well,
I've got nothing on my deck right now, and I'm fine with that.
You got to be careful of falling into this new subcategory. Which is the us or we gift.
Yeah, the we gift.
The we gift. Because that can easily be maneuvered. I caught a potential we gift in the making.
Oh, yeah?
I bought it first, and I'm going to give it to my wife.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I headed the we gift off at the pass.
We don't know what this is yet. Okay.
No, she don't.
I like the we gift.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think that's Yeah, I'm cool with that. But that's pretty much all that I see to purchase as gifts.
It's gifts that you can
for
use.
my wife. And here's Kathy. Here's why I hate gift giving, especially when it comes to my spouse, because I love her to death. But but I seem like I'm always heading into the same territory every single year of the same things. It's a piece of jewelry. It's a handbag. It's a piece of clothing. It just seems to be the same thing, and I always feel unoriginal. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
But there are some things, like as we said before, like Steven Singer.
I know.
Oh, what is this?
Yeah.
But I mean, listen, just something. You don't have to go crazy.
No, I know.
But something, a couple of things to open up on Christmas morning, if you can do it. Obviously, sometimes there may be other things at work that are prohibitive. But if you can do it,
Yeah, see, that's
the
the
last thing you want is to be handed something after your deal
Yeah.
on Christmas morning, and you go, "What is this?"
Yeah.
I thought we had a deal. Well, as Kathy says, I saw it and thought of you. You miserable bastard.
Yeah, right.
But to have, I mean, you have to have something.
Something.
I mean, well, and listen, I tried to get over Thanksgiving. I tried to get my brothers and my parents to do a Pollyanna, and my one brother refuses to do it. I finally got Jim to. He was like, "Whatever you guys want to do, I'll do it." And Christopher's like, "No, I like going out and shopping and getting gifts and all that kind of stuff." I'm like, "We're just gonna exchange gift cards." That's what we do every year. Everybody passes around gift cards. Like, let's do a Pollyanna. You get one person, and we can put like a larger dollar amount on it, and get that person like something they really want.
That
or
means something
better.
instead of $10. Like, listen, I told you the story before. And it was a nice gesture. I wouldn't want to crap on someone's gift. But when Claire and I got married, we got a wedding gift. There was like a $25 gift card to an art gallery where the only thing purchasable in that realm was like a keychain at the cash register.
Come on.
So it's like, save the money. Don't worry about it.
Here's
you
a
know?
good suggestion. It says, get her a present, Casey. Anyway, hide it.
Yeah.
If the deal is true, hang on to it until Valentine's Day. But if the deal is false, then you're covered.
That's a good piece of advice.
It's not a bad idea.
All right. And then just have one of those bags ready to go, one of those Santa sacks. Pop it in there and you're good to go.
But I'm not a one present kind of guy.
I know.
She was like, "Don't even get me stocking stuffers." She's like, "Don't even," because she's like,
She
"Don't even
wants
get me
them.
the Twizzlers that I always get in my stocking." I'm like, "Not even Twizzlers."
You're going to let me ask you,
Yeah.
as you know, as the weight of the holidays starts to come down on you and you're swept up in all the magic of the holidays, aren't you going to fall? Aren't you going to succumb to it? Don't you think she'll succumb to it?
I mean, listen, if it is true, which I don't think it is,
The gift of the Magi?
it is a relief, without a doubt. I don't have to like worry about because I even last year I think I did pretty good, but leading up to it, I was like, man, I'm doing a terrible job right now. Like I have not gotten like my gift giving skills are like going out the door right now. I'm not, so this is at least it's for the time being it's a relief, but I know that on Christmas Eve, if I have nothing, I'm going to crap my pants.
All right.
You know?
So you don't want this. So here's what you do. Get a box of Omaha steaks, put it in the freezer. I got this for you.
Yeah.
We advertise. There you go.
You can do it now. I like this idea. Just grab the one gift, have it set aside, and just in case you got it there, it's an insurance policy.
You know what? I'm going to make an addendum to
Give her an
said deal.
insurance
'Cause I
policy
know
as a
she's-
gift.
I know she's listening right now. I am definitely going to fill your stocking. All right, you hear that, lady?
Do you think Diane would be cool with? I'd like to hear Diane's description. Can she? Do you think we could call her?
Do you want her? Well, she'll probably get a little shy. But
All right. Well, don't worry about it if she's
no,
not. I want to hear the articulating of the deal.
Well, Casey, I want to ask you while you're getting her number. There is a bit of a, like when you do something really well, when you get really great gifts one year, you kind of set a standard that you then have to come back year after year, So like if you knock it out of the park one year and then you come back the next year and you bunt, you're setting yourself up for failure, So like,
Isn't it the recipient's onus though to then match you the next year? Because
so
look
you
what
have-
I did last year.
you have a great year,
Yeah.
and then you got to get up. The next year you have to receive.
I'm on
a great
base
year?
because of a walk.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I didn't have to bat it out of the park this time.
Right?
Yeah.
My wife is she's declining the
All
invite
right,
to come
no
on. Yeah,
problem.
she's a little bit shy, but I hope I'm not doing a terrible job in representing who she is as a person.
No, she's a wonderful
Dude, are you
person.
kidding me? I love her
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
I think it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Yes.
She
Make
also-
it about the kids. Don't worry about us. If we want something, we can get it. You know what I mean?
She texted me. She goes, "I'll assign you a kid so I can act." Okay, I get Seamus. So I get Seamus. She says deck furniture is for both of us. Okay.
Yeah, a wee gift.
And then she also said, "Keep this attitude, and you'll never get a swim spa."
Oh, wow.
So, but hang on a second.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
There is a chance for a swim spa. What if Christmas morning, Casey, you come down and you say, okay, and let's start opening the thing. Wait a second, what's that in the backyard? It's a swim spa!
How did I sleep through that?
I want to know if anybody listening either has this deal and it works, 215-263-WMMR, or you've been burned by the deal.
Oh, yeah.
As well, even if you shook on it, because that's the difference this time around. That's why Casey brought it up. Diane literally said, let's shake on it.
Uh-huh.
And did she spit in her palm before
She
she
did not.
that?
No.
Did she cut her palm with a knife?
She did not.
And you the knife so you could join blood.
No, she grabbed the elbow. She was like, I just want to show you how serious I am here.
All right.
And she shook on it. And listen, okay, deck furniture's nice.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'm coming around on this one.
Yeah.
I just want a swim spot, so I'm going to be nice about it.
Oh, my God.
I tell you, it's to me, it's the road to folly a lot of times. Now, listen, for example, for Valentine's Day, which is our anniversary, we'll just go out to dinner.
Yeah.
Because it just came after Christmas.
Right.
It's just like 2 months after
I
that.
have to do a stocking.
I also think
I have to at least do the stocking, hon. I hope you understand.
I also think it depends on how far along in your relationship you are. 'Cause
Yeah.
if you've been doing it if you've been married for a long time, after a while, I think the deal's like, you know what? Yeah. Let's cut ourselves some slack this year.
You
know what I mean?
So I think our very first Christmas, and I've been making up for it ever since. She needed like a TV and a VCR or a DVD player or whatever. So I didn't make that much money back then. So I got her like one of those TV VCR like combo thingies.
That's cool.
Dude, do you know what the brand name was?
No.
And we still laugh about it. It was Funai.
I'm sorry. I have no idea what you just said.
Funai or Funai? I don't know. I can afford it, Preston.
A funai?
Funai.
Funaie. Dude, that's the...
That's the joke is that no one has ever heard of this brand.
And
It's the kind of electronics they sell at Rite Aid.
Yeah, no, but I did get it like at Best Buy or whatever. But Kathy, it ate the very first videotape I put in there, dude.
Funai. Nick found it.
Yes.
Their brands, the Funai Corporation owns Philips, Magnavox, Sanyo, Kodak.
Yeah.
So they're a big
This
name.
was like all the leftover parts from all those.
What's just collect all the parts that don't work and we'll build a fifth line.
So that was our very first Christmas. So I've been making up for that ever since.
All right.
All right, I'm going to go to Neil. Hi, Neil. Good morning.
Good morning.
What's up, Neil?
Hey, so, I heard Casey talking about the deal with his wife. My wife and I have had that deal for the past 4 years, and it's always a trap.
Uh-huh.
Who caves?
My wife does. She always finds something that she thinks I need or she thinks I'm going to like.
There you
so
go.
I always have to have a backup gift.
There. So you've had a backup gift. You've learned from your mistake.
After the first year, yeah, because I had just like Casey talked about, I had to run out the 1 year on Christmas Eve and grab or something. I realized that it was a complete and total trap.
So why again? So is that deal on this year as well, or have you just done away with it now?
No, we've done it this year as well. So I will still have the backup gift. We found each other gifts at Black Friday on a Black Friday sale, and she's like, "That's it. That's it. We're not getting anything for each other." And I know that I still have to get something.
So does it just make you comfortable to go through the motions of pretending there is a deal with you both knowing there is no deal?
Well, I think she really means it. She really, she believes it when she says it.
Right.
But
She can't help herself. Yeah, she can't help herself.
Well, she loves you and she wants to get you something. She thinks about you, like Kathy said. There is that moment, whether it be a Black Friday gift that pops up, and it's sort of a compliment. But again, the notion that this deal is forged and the fires of Mordor is just not real. it won't happen. So
No,
yes,
never.
always back yourself up.
All right,
Yep,
thanks for the
always.
call, man. We appreciate it. I'm going to go next to Joe. Hey, Joe, good morning.
Good morning. Sorry to bother y'all at work.
That's all right, man. We'll let you slide. What's going on, Joe?
So, me and my wife, a couple years, have had a version of the deal where we'll do something specific. Like this year, it's going to be I forget what exactly it's called, but almost like a paint and twist with like wood shop, like something kind of in the area. But same thing, like we'll do that. We won't get gifts. Like my wife has upheld that deal every time, but I have not. Like, Yep.
You just made me think of an idea, Joe. Thanks for your call, by the way. What if you were to have a deal where you each get, and this could make it a little more fun. You each get one gift or something like. Could you do the one gift deal?
Right. Okay.
But also
One gift?
Have like a theme. Have like the gift will be of this particular theme.
Make the theme. Both gifts are for me.
We could do that too. Yeah, I'd like that.
Yeah,
actually.
that's a cool idea. So give me an idea what you're thinking of.
So it could be, all right, summertime.
Right.
Or it could be, some type of
right.
food. Or, pick a category.
Right.
And put the gift within that. At least it gives you a direction to go in. And then you could kind of have some fun to see what you got from them and they got for you and how creative you can
Would it
come with
become competitive, do you think?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Doesn't it always?
Right,
Yeah.
of course.
Yeah.
All right, so that at least if you set ground rules, or at least set an amount like a Pollyanna gift,
Right.
where you're not going to. At least that sets a parameter. But this notion,
Yeah, we could do that.
I think a lot of times it's only going to go to folly.
Yeah.
It's only going to fail.
We could have a theme of like deck furniture.
Right.
Right?
Yes, it could be that.
We get your deck furniture and
Yeah.
the swim spa.
Yeah.
The theme this year, swim spa.
Swim spa.
Yeah.
I like that.
No.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
leave it open like swim spa? Question mark.
Or
That's the
swim
theme.
spa. I will go to Franklin next. Franklin, good morning.
Gadzooks.
Yeah, Zeus, buddy, what's up?
So we had a deal with a friend. We had kids. Each of us have a kid. And we weren't going to do presents for the kids. We did it like 2 years in a row. All right, they're getting older. We don't need to do it anymore. Come Christmas Day, comes over for dessert. And, hey, look what Santa brought you, buddy. And I had literally no gift for his kid. So I just had to be like, guess Santa doesn't like you. Let your parents figure that out. I'm sorry.
That's when you go into the other room, get whatever wrapping paper or even newspaper, take that same gift, come out and go, and give it right back to his kid.
Mm-hmm.
Look what Santa got you.
I have like a bunch of like Funko Pops. I considered doing that, and I was like, no, these are my toys.
Right.
F
Can't
him.
have my toys.
Yeah.
You explain why Santa didn't bring a gift. That ain't my problem. Yeah.
You know, but I enjoy. Listen, the giving of the gift to me is the most fun.
Yeah.
Like I don't. There's not a lot that I need. Let's say if you want something, I'll get it. And that's part of the deal. And it's not. I don't have extravagant tastes. There's Batman figures. So that's a joy, and I think that's part of the fun of the whole holiday is doing that.
You're kind of speaking my language here, Steve, because I think I've reached the point now where I don't even like getting gifts. I really don't. There's a little bit of weird responsibility attached to it. I don't need anything. I don't want stuff anymore. Like I still like experiences or whatever, but like there's part of me that just doesn't even like that aspect of it.
How about
I didn't even want a swim spa.
how about
right? Yeah, right.
how about getting the things and you open it and you're like, I don't want this.
Exactly.
Oh.
And then you have to fake.
I will never use this.
Yeah.
I have a section of my closet of just stuff that I've gotten.
Like
and
that home beer maker.
And it's remained in there and done nothing. And I'm like, I don't
but you know what,
what
Press?
to do with this.
For every one of those gifts that you get, you get a beer stein, and
That means something to you.
Build a collection.
Yeah, so you know what? Yeah, really, don't buy a whole lot for me.
I don't want it.
I
don't think I want it.
How about road flares? They're fun.
Oh, yeah. All right.
You know what?
I could use some road flares.
I've never lit a road flare. I want to try.
There we go. See?
Yeah, you just gave Diane an idea.
Saw somebody.
They're stocking stuffers.
You got me a gross of road flares.
Yeah. Someone lit one at a party one time, and it looked like it was a lot of fun.
Ooh.
We couldn't put it out. We could not put
Well, you're
that
not
thing
No,
out.
you can't. You can throw those in water,
Yeah.
and they will
I know.
continue to burn.
We had
They
it in the
don't
tub.
go out.
See, it's a perfect present.
Look at this on Amazon.
3-pack of highly visible, eco-friendly 15-minute safety flares. It's a pack of 3. I don't see a price on there, so I don't know how much.
There's obviously different places to buy them. About $70.
$29.99 for that 3-pack right there.
Wow.
At the top,
That was
so.
a 3-pack of 3,
Yeah.
so that's 9. So okay.
So if you couldn't put out the flare where people like lighting their cigarettes with it and stuff.
Dude, like the idiot lit it in the basement of this house, and like we put it into the we had a keg, so we put it in the keg tub, and
it kept going, right?
It kept going.
Yeah, that's
we
what they
eventually
do.
did get it out. So what we ended up doing is we just dumped pitchers and pitchers of beer like straight into the flame, and
Wasting
eventually
all your beer.
You should have doused it with gasoline.
Well, yes. Yeah. Why did I think of that?
They're supposed to burn because obviously people put them out like in rainstorms.
I know.
Yeah.
Hey, if you've ever received road flares as a Christmas gift, call us now at 215-263-WMMR. I want to know that went over.
A classic story, the gift of the road flare?
I usually, a lot of times, and my in-laws are great, but they do give me things that are like, like a flashlight, and seriously,
I know.
But it's, I think part of it is just to give gifts. You know what I mean? All right, we'll get these practical things, and we'll give them.
Was it wrapped?
Yeah, they come wrapped.
It's
yeah,
wrapped in a swim spot.
And we'll get these, and those are a lot of things that end up in my closet because I'm just like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this.
Wait, you keep that stuff in your closet?
What am I going to do with it?
I don't know. Your garage?
Well, I mean,
Why
we
is it
already
in your
have.
closet?
We've got plenty. I mean, like these are things I'll put a bag full of stuff and go, okay, I'll go through this later.
Yeah.
I'm not like, and eventually someday I'll go through it and go, all right, and then I don't feel so guilty about
But
throwing them away.
You're not even missing anything that's in it. Just don't go through it and get rid of the bag.
Yeah.
That's what I'll do sometimes. I'll have a bag of like things that maybe I'll get rid of.
Goodwill.
And I'm like, I don't even, and I'm like,
but I feel
don't even
bad
know what's
doing
in
it
that
right
bag.
away. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
No, I got you.
Yeah, especially if they come back. Hey, where's that thing that I got you?
Oh, I threw it out.
I'm also like a little bit disappointed because Kathy, I bought one of those things on Amazon that is you put your wrapping paper through it.
Yeah. Yes, we talked about this.
Yes, I got it. And so do you know what I'm talking
No,
about?
what is
All right,
this?
so it's a little cylinder that your wrapping paper goes through, right? And then you're able to
It cuts the wrapping paper for you, like in a straight line.
It also spreads it for you, and then you cut it. It's like all in one, like this apparatus.
I would have to see it to
Yes.
understand. I don't follow exactly what you're talking about, but anything that would make cutting paper easier, I'm all for.
Yes.
Definitely all.
As
so
I've said
what?
many times before, I live in a house with the Da Vinci of gift wrapping. So whatever I'm going to do is going to look dramatically inferior. So I try my best and just accept the loss.
Wait, so what? You said you're disappointed. What are you disappointed in?
I don't get to use it to wrap my wife's presents.
Oh, this year.
Why don't you help her wrap the kids' presents?
Nah.
Or wrap her dinner.
Hang on, I'm going to go to Lindsay. Hi, Lindsay. Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
Wonderful, Lindsay. What's up?
So I just wanted to comment on a crazy gift that my dad always gives everybody. It's been his tradition that all the men usually get like pocket knives or some sort of knife or items like that. But a few years ago, my dad gave everybody a hatchet, all the men a hatchet.
Ah.
It was a pretty bloody Christmas.
Yes.
I want you to use these to kill me because I can't stand holidays with you.
A hatchet.
A
hatchet?
hatchet?
It's a hatchet.
A hatchet. Well, my family's a family like hunters, and
Right.
my husband hunts, and
Sure.
he thinks it's a pretty practical gift. But you
Okay.
know.
I would
All
love to have a
I got
hatchet.
you. Thanks, Lindsay.
As a
I have a
gift.
hatchet. I did ask, because I send Rochelle ideas of gifts to give to. I'm trying to make it as easier
Sure.
as possible.
That's a good thing to do.
There's a wood splitter I want to get.
Okay.
It's a wedge.
you send
And it's
it?
just for,
Like, not a machine though, right? Like
no.
Oh, that's badass.
Yeah, so it's just it's one that I saw on an Instagram
Sledge and a
ad.
wedge.
And I don't remember what the name of it is.
No, but like that, you get the sledge and you get the metal wedge to go
I
along
already have a
with it.
sledge, so,
Oh, okay.
so I don't need that. But
Can't
it's-
you just Captain America it?
But it's not a wedge that goes on top. It's a circle.
Yeah.
The wedge is on the bottom. You put put it in there and you just hammer it down and it cuts. It's very, very sharp. Looks really cool, and that is a practical gift I could use.
That is a really good gift. You know,
Like
what I-
road flares.
Well, all right. So there's a
Oh my God.
a can crusher
Yeah.
that I want for our pantry.
It just comes down.
It
like-
just comes down and
Yeah.
crushes it. Now,
I mean, after you've used whatever in the can, right?
Yes.
Or not, you know.
Well,
It
there's
depends
soup
on how
all over
much
the
fun I want to have. But somebody had said
Now yams.
that you can't recycle cans that are crushed. That's not true,
No,
right?
that's made
okay.
up.
That's a good question.
I don't know who came up with that.
No, I remember when, we were in Sweden one time. We were going to recycle because they're very, very environmentally conscious. And my buddy Will crushed up a can and was about to throw it in. They were like, no, you can't do that. Huh. You have to put them in their hole.
Leave the country.
So I don't know. There was something about that there. I don't know if it makes any sense here or not. All right. We actually have someone. Anthony. Good morning, Anthony.
Morning, Ed.
Good morning, Ed. Okay, so what'd you get for Christmas?
I got road flares.
Road flares. There you go. Somebody actually got road flares for Christmas. Okay. How long ago?
A few years ago, I got them when I was in college, and they were a part of a big safety kit.
Yes.
So you got road flares and a safety vest and jumper cables in a kit.
Yeah, no, those packs are actually fairly common, and people will give those. That's actually a good, useful Christmas gift. I was wondering, but you didn't get them separately wrapped like with a ribbon around like road flares, right? It was part of the kit.
Yeah, it was part of the kit.
Okay.
I didn't get a single road flare, but...
Well, you still got road flares.
You got road flares.
As part of your Christmas
flares,
gift. All right. Thank you, Anthony. Hang on. Let me go to Eric. Hey, Eric. Good morning.
Good morning. How you guys?
Good. Eric, what'd you get for Christmas?
I got road flares.
Road flares! There you go. Okay. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so 1 year, about 6 years back for Christmas, my buddy gave me a microwave, road flares, and light bulb. So he just
That's a
wanted
great
to...
friend.
Yeah, right? So I just wanted to start throwing stuff in the microwave and see what happens. So he threw the road flares in there, and it was pretty crazy.
Wait a minute. Okay, so he gave you light bulbs and microwave and road flares with the intention of you actually using the microwave to put those things in there?
Exactly.
Oh
That's
my God,
kind of fun.
That's fantastic. All right, what happened?
So the seam that goes down the side of the road flare split open, and the entire thing just caught on fire at once. It was crazy. It was so bright.
I would imagine it burned up the microwave oven, right?
Oh yeah, it was ruined. Definitely.
You can get a cheap microwave for like $50, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually that's like a microwave fun pack.
Yeah, we kind of did that.
Yeah.
After that year, for the next 3 years of Christmas, someone would bring a microwave over to my buddy's house.
That's great.
Put whatever in it.
Eric,
what does a cheap microwave go
like
for?
$50, $55.
That's excellent.
So I think for that hard to shop for person on your list, get a microwave, road flares, and light bulbs.
That's a good
There
idea.
you
Yeah.
go.
All right.
I love it.
Thanks, Eric. Appreciate it.
See
Thanks,
that?
guys.
By the way, Nick pulled up this article that talks about crushing cans before recycling. It says, don't crush cans before recycling. When crushed cans enter the recycling stream, they become more difficult to sort out and can contaminate other recyclable materials.
So what do they sell the can crusher for?
That's
What's the
somebody
purpose?
said, I'll bet people will use this.
Yeah,
and
crush
they'll
the
buy
damn
it from us.
can. The can's taking up all this
Listen,
space.
clearly, if you want to save some space while in your recycling bin, you do that. Here, okay, pet peeve.
Yeah.
Okay,
Since
go ahead.
we're talking about recycling and so on, is my family, all of my family members,
Right.
will take a full gallon of milk, put the lid back on top of it, and throw it into the recycling bin.
No.
The small one inside the house. Do you know how much room? It takes up a gallon space of room.
That goes outside.
Squish it.
Yes.
Or take it outside,
outside.
Or squish it and put it in there.
It's a two-step
It's
process.
very simple.
Yeah.
It's a two-step process.
Right.
You take the lid off,
Yeah.
you run water in it,
Yeah, you
get
got to
the
rinse
milk
it out. Yeah.
and then you take the cap off and then compress it, crush it.
This is
That's
easy.
all.
Yeah.
You need to move.
I do,
Also,
I
He
real
needs to
quick.
get away from those people.
So the cost-wise, how much more expensive is it to buy 2-liter bottles of soda than it is to buy 12 packs of cans? I mean,
I don't know.
I don't know,
yeah,
man.
me neither. I don't know why I asked.
I've
you guys that
asked
question.
a whole bunch of people.
I don't know. I'm going to
I
go.
was just talking to a priest about that.
I'm going to go to Phil. Hey, Phil. Good morning.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Nothing, Phil. What'd you get for Christmas?
I got road flares.
Road flares.
Like the other guy said about the kit, that you get for my dad got it for me when I was younger. I was
Yeah,
probably
safety kit for your car. Sure.
17 jumper cable. Came with like a 3-pack. That's the only thing I took out of the kit was the road flares. I knew they were going to be fun. You know what I mean?
What'd you do with them?
So, well, we actually had a keg party, right? I'm from Delco. There's a shooting range,
Okay.
so we used to go back in the woods by this shooting range and have keg parties. So the cops came, we ran, I had these road flares in my back pocket. We had no idea where we were, right? So I handed out the road flares, no lights, no nothing. You didn't have phones with flashlights back then. This was like 99. So I said, everybody here, grab one, light one of these road flares. I never lit a road flare in my life.
All right.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Like, that it was a match times 50,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You can't stare directly
No,
at 'em.
you'll go blind.
Yeah, you can go blind from them. So we all like these road flares. We're like 17, 18 years old, and we're walking on. We're at the gun club in like the middle of the shooting range because all there was around was like shotgun shells and all these shells.
By the
And
way,
my
you
buddy-
got this lit up road flare going. The cops will never find us.
Well, this was after running like 15, 20 minutes, and we're like, we got to
All right.
find our way out of here. You know what I mean?
You're now deep in the woods with just road flares.
He sees a flashlight, so he drops a road flare, right?
Oh, no.
We take off running, and I throw mine. The other guy throws his.
Oh, my
and
God.
The shotgun shells are made of plastic. Okay? So we started a giant fire down at the, I'm not going to say where.
Oh, so the range had spent shells all over the place.
Shells all over.
I gotcha.
Shotgun
And
shells
so
are made of
it
plastic.
light, and they're made of plastic. It lit some. They catch on fire. That plastic will burn pretty
And the
profusely.
plastic burnt, and they call it the next shotgun shell.
That's a beautiful Christmas story.
Where is there an outdoor gun range in Delco? It's not the one near Marple, is it?
No, right off, right near Brookhaven, Chester Creek. It's the
He's from Delco.
Yeah.
So the Great Brookhaven Fire, you started that.
it's the it's Field and Stream.
Okay.
All right. So anyhow, did you guys get away?
Oh yeah, we got away.
And
I
did-
don't know if everybody got away, but we got away.
Did anybody ever find out that you lit the fire?
No, they didn't.
Wow. And how many years ago was this? Would you say?
This was probably 99.
Okay. Statute of limitations is probably right.
Yeah,
I'm sure
definitely.
with arson, it's
Yeah.
probably much more succinct.
Dude.
Yeah.
Find out.
So be careful with your road flares.
Especially
Yeah.
when you're having a kegger on the shooting range.
Yeah, definitely don't light them in the house or in a basement.
At least run and jump in the creek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, that's a whole nother story.
Okay.
Oh.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Phil. We'll get to that another time. But thank you for sharing your road flare story.
Thanks, buddy.
I just realized a new segment that we can do on the Preston and Steve show.
Okay.
Because who the hell knew that road flares would start conversations like
Yeah.
this and stories like that? We need to have just a random word generator.
Yeah.
And we go on a topic off of that random word.
I love it.
And see what we
All right.
get.
I like it.
I guarantee you, with all the people that listen to this show, there's an interesting story about anything that we can bring.
Road
up.
flares.
I'm going to go to, this isn't a flare of road flare, but I'm going to go to Sean. Hey, Sean, good morning.
Hello?
Yeah, Sean, you're on the air, buddy.
Good morning, guys. How you guys doing? All
Great.
right?
Great. What's up, bud?
Good. Listen, so one year, I was looking to buy a boat, and for Christmas, I got flare guns.
Okay.
Flare guns are awesome.
All right.
I want one of those, too.
So, we got drunk and decided, hey, let's start shooting them out in the backyard. So we started shooting them at each other, and my cousin, bitched me, hit the window, put the house on fire.
Oh, my God.
So here's the deal with flare guns. You shouldn't shoot them at anybody.
No.
No,
Well,
they're
like
we were
fireworks.
drunk, young, and stupid,
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Thank God for that.
I had one of those. The maritime kits, Preston, do come with flare guns, which are, you need those.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Of course.
They're not for flare gun fights.
Sean, anybody get in trouble in that flare gun fight?
Oh, yeah, my girlfriend almost threw me out of the damn house.
I'll bet.
Just for burning it down?
I was burning the house down.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Sean. Appreciate it, man.
Threw me out of the burned down.
You're going to throw me out of the house for burning it down?
Wow. Okay.
I don't
Can
want
you-
your flare gun anymore.
I would like to have a flare gun. I would think that would be. I want.
Well,
I want,
Diane's
I want
listening.
road flares, and I want a flare gun.
All right.
All
Any
right.
other type of flares that we're looking for?
1 year.
Nautical flares?
Why not?
Yeah. I just
Um,
want to be able to go over to the Atlantic Ocean, boom, shoot it, and just.
Well, what
like,
you
and
really
watch that.
want are the ones they used to use or maybe they still use them for the military, the ones that have a parachute attached.
Mm-hmm. So
That
we'll
shoot
stay up there for a while.
really high.
Yeah.
Like the whole area when you're having your kegger on the shooting range.
All right. Can you get in trouble just for firing one of those?
Probably.
Just for for no reason? Because they might think it's,
Yes, because
there's
they
an
would think that
emergency,
it's an
right?
emergency.
If you
Alright,
do it at 30th Street Station,
Yeah.
Probably.
No, but even
anywhere. If you don't have an emergency and you launch one of those things up, then maybe like the Coast Guard or something like that might have a little bit of an issue with it.
But if you're at a kegger at a firing range, it's totally fine.
Done deal. Done.
By the way, a listener suggested that for Hanukkah, which began last night, you could light 8 flares.
8 road flares.
Happy Hanukkah.
Right.
I have now, instead of the road flares, I have these LED lights.
Yes.
A series of like 5 or 6 of them.
Okay. That's the new,
and they can
all the
flash
rage.
in different different colors or different patterns and so on.
Like an ELO sort of, like orchestra sort of.
Mm-hmm.
This might be another conversation for another time, but
Let's
why do
find
people put either like white bags or T-shirts and hang them out of their windows when they leave a car?
Because they're doing their laundry.
I was told it's just to let them know that this car was left here on purpose. I'm going to come back to get it.
Or you're in distress, right? That's what you do. You put a flag up on the. And
no,
in
I
fact,
think
some of these kits will come with a flag.
But I think it's if you leave the car.
Oh, is that it?
If you've left it and people take a regular a Wawa bag or whatever, a plastic bag, roll it up in the windshield or in the window and let it hang there and it flaps, or a towel or something like that.
Huh.
And I think that it means that I have left this here. I'm going to come back and get it.
I keep a mannequin in the trunk for that.
I haven't abandoned this vehicle.
Yeah.
Whether it means anything official or not, I'm not really sure. Let's see. All right. Well, anyhow, Casey, if you get Casey for a Secret Santa this year, road flare.
Yeah, and flare gun.
Road flare or flare gun?
I'm pulling back on the flare gun because if I can't use it, then what's the point of having it? And
Listen, you just make sure you're so far out in the wilderness that no one can see it.
That too.
This way you can start a proper forest fire.
That's right.
All right, we need to take a break because when we come back, we have Bizarre File stories, and I believe we're also going to talk to Kevin Crowley, the Philadelphia Wings, because their season's coming up. We'll take a break and be back, and don't forget we have an announcement closer to 10 as well to pass along. Oh, and clear the phone lines because we're going to take callers 7 and 8. How about all of that? So yeah, they had a red carpet and the full deal. The documentary feature went to My Octopus Teacher. That one's been mentioned several times on the show, so wanted to throw that in there. Accepting was the octopus.
Wow, great.
And there was no wrap-up music. He just kept sucking and clicking and doing that whole thing for a long time. So,
Is that him walking up?
Suction cups, yeah.
That's him walking up to the podium. It was awkward, but listen, I mean, he was the star of the film. So.
It is a hell of a movie if you get a chance to see it. Think of a Nomad Land, but with sea creatures.
They really should have put the octopus in the in memoriam section. I don't know why they didn't.
Did he die?
Well, he's an octopus. I mean, the movie came out like 2 years ago.
How long does your average octopus live?
I'll bet
the length of a documentary movie.
I'll bet they live longer than you think.
No,
they don't. They live like a year.
They don't.
Really? Yeah, watch the movie.
Oh,
Wait,
you saw it too, Kathy?
Yeah,
I saw the movie, and I don't remember that shocking piece of news.
That's sad.
What?
Poor thing.
All right,
well, maybe
I'm going to check it out.
3 to 5 years.
3 to 5
All right,
years.
see? They're already getting longer lives.
See? He can still
1 year.
He could have accepted the award.
I wouldn't have wasted time with this dickhead then if I was an octopus. I got a little living to do, baby.
All right, Yolanda Hadid
I know Yolanda
is in love with thank you, Casey.
You're welcome.
In love with her daughter, Gigi Hadid's daughter, Kai.
So she loves her granddaughter?
She does.
Oh, my
Steve.
God.
I told
So
you.
who got the scoop on this
The
one?
news is big here this morning.
Wow.
Don't go to press yet.
Yeah.
I've got something.
She shared a tribute.
Yolanda Hadid, granddaughter. Do you have a source that can confirm this? I'm not going with this unless you have corroboration.
Well, they heard from an octopus that actually
in a parking garage.
Yeah.
The octopus was in the shadows, but
I have it on good authority that Yolanda Hadid loves her granddaughter.
Oh my God!
Would you go on record with that?
People who don't want this information out.
Oh my God!
He's scared, man.
I'm very scared.
And then he just walked away. That's my new favorite thing. The octopus walking away in a cavernous room with lots of reverb so you can hear it.
I can see you're an octopus, even in shadow.
He's got a trench coat on.
He doesn't even need a trench coat. He's got like this amazing camouflage.
Listen, he's running now.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Casey, he just blends in with the floor.
It's amazing.
A dove formerly owned by Prince has passed away.
Yeah. Well, you know, he was big into the doves when doves cry.
Of course. But I didn't know that he had, well, this particular dove was named Divinity.
Yeah.
Female white dove owned by Prince. She died on Tuesday following a recent decline in her health due to her age. She was 28 years old.
That is an exceptionally old dove.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had a cat that lived to 22, and that seemed like an eternity for a pet lifespan.
Yes.
But listen, I know that some birds, like African grays and so on, can live for like 80 years.
Absolutely.
But
They usually outlive their owners.
But I didn't think a dove had that kind of a shelf life, for lack of a better
I bathed
term.
in the purifying waters of Lake Minnetonka. And
That must have been
what
what
I
did it.
attribute my longevity to.
Well, longevity for divinity.
Following Prince's death in 2016, Divinity remained at his Paisley Park and could be seen during the tours of his former estate.
Divinity conducted the tours.
According to the executive director of the Paisley Park tours, said Divinity's beautiful coo has welcomed visitors since Paisley Park first opened its gates to the public in October 2016. She was one of the enduring links to Prince for thousands of fans. She will be missed.
I would love to go to Paisley Park.
Me too.
I read there was a really fascinating article. Prince started writing an autobiography, and he hired a writer to help him write it. And so a year or so before he died, the writing process began, and then the writer spent a lot of time in Paisley Park. And I've gained so much more of an appreciation for Prince after his death, which makes me feel guilty for some weird reason. But just everything that went into Paisley Park and his life is really amazing.
I was just watching a replay of yesterday of him at the Super Bowl when he did the halftime. It was awesome.
Yeah, and I've his version, along with Danny Harrison and Tom Petty of "While My Guitar Gently Weeps" from Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony years ago, is just unbelievably great.
The outside of Paisley Park looks like a
school or a warehouse.
Yeah,
or
you would
something
not.
like
You would
that.
have no idea.
What I haven't seen are pictures of the inside.
It's pretty amazing. I mean, it's like a modern Graceland. Like it's Prince through and through.
Our old boss has been to parties there, Jim McGuinn, because he's a program director in Minneapolis, and that's where it is.
That's cool.
So yeah, I would love to
Elevator
go
inside and all the whole deal.
So in addition to Divinity, Prince also owned a dove named Majesty, which, according to reports, were quiet. Both of them were quiet in the immediate days following his death, but they perked up after hearing his music.
I don't want to talk.
And a new generation of doves will continue to live on.
This is what it sounds like when doves cry. I'm gonna throw up.
That's what it sounds like.
That's what it sounds
When
like.
doves cry.
Yeah, they were upset about Prince's death.
I swear to God, I'm gonna throw up.
Oh my God! Hey, are doves the same things as pigeons?
No.
No,
Not even
related.
close.
They are related.
Yeah, they're in the same bird family.
That's what I mean.
If you look at their license, there's a delineation.
Okay.
My dad and I used to go dove hunting regularly. We used to blast those things out of the sky.
Dude, I mean, come on.
We'd eat them.
I know, but still, it's like puppy hunting. You know? It's so nice and cute and peaceful.
They're different than the ones that you see. They're the gray colored
They kill
ones.
families.
Okay.
Yes.
They are all tatted up.
He was doing service to the families of Kentucky.
They are literally the symbol for peace, however.
Yes.
I was completely eaten by a dove today. Anyone kill them for us.
Son, we got work to do.
We beat it to death with an olive branch.
I have a hair change story that
That's a cool sound effect.
After splitting from her fiance, Dale Moss, Bachelorette alum Claire Crowley is ready for love.
Oh boy.
and a new pink hairdo.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
I saw it.
Yeah?
I've not seen it.
It's not over the top.
It's not crazy hot
It's
pink.
light. She says she wanted to show that she could do something crazy.
Okay.
As we observed, everything she's done shows she can do something crazy.
Oh, you're right. It's a nice pink. It's like an ombre.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. She didn't go. I was thinking like shocking. Like Katy Perry when she had super pink hair. Anyway.
Getting the tattoo of Florida on her forehead.
Did you see that guy?
I did.
Yes. He's got a tattoo of the state right on his forehead.
Ridiculous.
All righty, buddy. Source tells us she sees her time spent with Dale as something of her past and is ready to move forward.
It helped me to learn about myself.
So she has pink hair now.
Okay, the ombre's good. I kind of prefer the Ganon, bro.
What's the Ganon?
Come on,
bro.
Keep going. Do it. Finish it.
I'm not finishing
Come on.
It's Ganon, bro. I like the up dog.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
Here's the tattoo of the Florida, by the way.
That looks good.
Oh,
Man, what is going on?
I know. We have a monitor that's normally in front of us. It doesn't work, and I can't see the photos when they come up. But yes, that's just brilliant. Best performance by an actress in a motion picture drama went to Andra Day for The United States versus Billie Holiday. And overall best motion picture drama went to Nomadland. So there you go. That's our first foray into a very strange awards year.
It was. You know what was one of the weirder things, Preston? At certain points when they were going into a commercial and they had the nominees, they'd put the nominees up and they'd bring up their microphones so that they could sort of like talk and like. And there was, did you see Case? I don't know, because there was a point where Pacino was up for something and they were all, hi, Mr. Pacino, I'm a big fan of yours. And there's this cross talk that's not, no one was overseeing it. It was just like you were listening in on a Zoom call.
Wait, so the crosstalk was between the fellow nominees?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So they did that a couple times. If they ever do this again, they should not do that again.
Yeah, that's kind of weird, right?
It's very weird. And I'm like, is something supposed to be happening?
What was great, though, is when Soul won for best, I think it was best animated, who do you call it? Tracy Morgan pronounced it as Saul, right? He goes, and the winner is, and he goes, Saul. And then there was no reaction because there was no movie called Saw.
Right.
And then he realized that he had made the mistake. And then they had cut to the, it was for best original song. But either way, the actors, it was Sudeikis, it was the people that were up for the next award.
Right.
They were having a ball with it. They were cracking up. Don Cheadle was making fun of them, and it was really, really.
I think Pacino didn't realize that he was still on the Zoom call because he was standing in the doorway pleasuring himself.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Oh no, you don't do that.
It feels so good.
Right.
Well, I didn't see that clip. But I did see. I saw a clip.
I'm gonna shout!
Oh my God! Splat.
All over my walls and when my children play with their toys. You were expecting something like that. There were a few people who clearly were not quite up to speed on the tech.
I'm gonna shoot over here.
That was good.
Oh man!
Right after that.
Yes. Sorry, Nick.
No. This is also comedic. He fell asleep.
What?
Did he?
Yeah.
Was he asleep on camera, Nick?
Yeah. I mean, don't you usually fall asleep right afterwards?
Everybody's sleepy, and you've expanded yourself. So the camera pans across his screen, and listen, his eyes are closed, and he looks like he might have not actually have been asleep, but he looked like he was sleepy.
That was so much fun pleasuring myself.
Oh no, the poor guy. Getting old.
I don't feel so good.
That's hilarious.
I'm up on out.
So, according to a new survey presented by the Water Quality and Health Council, 51% of Americans reported using a swimming pool as a communal bathtub, using the pool as an alternative to showering or rinsing off after engaging in exercise or yard work or whatever it may be. Even though 64% of Americans know that pool chemicals don't eliminate the need to shower. People continue to do it anyway. By the way, the survey comes as experts from the Council, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and, which I didn't know existed, the Pool and Hot Tub Alliance.
Oh, that's great. That's what Darth Vader faces off in the second movie.
Work to educate the public on healthy and safe swimming.
We shall crush the Pool Alliance.
Yes, my name is Mortimer Sanchez, and I'm with the Pool Alliance. And we think you're a bad leader.
The survey also revealed.
I don't care.
The survey also revealed that 24% of Americans would go into a pool within 1 hour of having diarrhea.
See, that's now listen.
Yeah,
that's why public pools are just not my thing.
Spend all day on the toilet. You know what I need to do? I need to take a swim.
Get some of that residual out.
To check the chlorine and pH levels for a personal public pool, the council is offering free pool test kits through its 15th annual Healthy Pools campaign on its website.
This is the Alliance.
This is the Pool and Hot Tub Alliance.
Did you mention in this story, Preston, particular sunblocks affecting?
I didn't mention this.
Okay. Go into the pool now.
Peter Cushing.
Moff Tarkin.
This is the finest pool you'll ever swim in.
What were you saying, Nick? Sunscreens?
Yeah, the reason that I bring it up is that I went on a snorkel, not a scuba,
Snookles
or a snorkel, but a snorkel.
It's the latest craze that's sweeping the beaches of America. Snorkeling.
Get some Beach Boys.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be
Going
great.
outside, hanging tan, snookling all day long.
Yeah. Serpent USA, please.
Oh, sorry.
I know what the snookle is, if I may suggest.
Have a snookle.
Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen.
Snookle USA.
Like California.
I'm such an idiot.
All right, anyhow.
Snorkeling.
Oh, yeah.
I went snorkeling and
17. A woman was arrested Sunday after police say she walked into a home, and this is in Florida, by the way, and undressed herself before hugging and sitting on multiple people, including several who were 65 years or older. Police say 35-year-old Heather Cruz walked into a home through a side door. Once inside, Cruz removed her clothing, exposed her genitalia before she grabbed and hugged the homeowner. When Cruz was told to stop, documents say she sat on the lap of two other residents while naked, saying, "You like it," to one of the victims.
I made them extra sloppy for you.
Police say
That sounds awesome.
two of the home's occupants then attempted to remove Cruz and escort her to the front door. At that time, still nude, Cruz reportedly grabbed the testicles of another individual and made several sexual remarks. When police arrived,
go get the road flares.
When police arrived, Cruz was ordered to put on a shirt, but is accused of resisting officers. She was then handcuffed and placed in the rear of a patrol car. When officers attempted to close the door, they say she kicked an officer in the chest.
Aww.
More officers arrived, and Cruz was moved to another squad car before she allegedly kicked the second officer in the chest. She now faces 3 counts of battery on person 65 years or older, 2 counts of battery on a law enforcement officer, and 1 count of resisting officer without violence and exposure of sexual organs and battery.
Is it possible that's her version of caroling?
What a banner day for her. A Newark police officer faces several charges. This is horrible. After investigators say he struck a pedestrian while off duty, put the victim in his car, and then later returned to the scene with the victim's dead body. The officer, Luis Santiago, has been charged with reckless vehicular homicide, desecrating human remains, and related charges. Santiago was off duty and driving north on the Garden State Parkway about 3 a.m. on November 1st when he struck Damian Zamica, who was walking on the shoulder. Santiago failed to maintain his lane, traveled onto the right shoulder of the Garden State Parkway, striking the man, the prosecutor said in a statement. After striking D'Amica, who was a nurse, neither Santiago or his passenger, Albert Guzman, called 911 or tried to render aid. The suspects returned to the scene multiple times before Santiago loaded the victim into the Honda and removed him from the scene.
Jeez.
Santiago then took the body to his home in Bloomfield, where he, his mother, and Guzman allegedly discussed what to do with the body. Eventually, Santiago drew D'Amica's body back to the scene of the crash Santiago's father, who is a lieutenant in the Newark Police Department, called 911 and reported that his son was in an accident. When New Jersey State Police troopers arrived, they found the victim dead in the backseat of the car. Santiago was charged with several charges, as well as Guzman and Annette Santiago, the mother.
What a freaking nightmare.
Was charged. I know. All three are arrested and released pending court hearings. That's messed up. A Largo, Florida man was arrested Tuesday after he allegedly used a machete to threaten Pier 60 employees when he was told that the bathrooms were closed. Documents show that Thomas Clement was at Pier 60 store when he began to yell profanities at store workers. Clement then began yelling after store employees told him that the bathroom was closed. He then pulled out a 12-inch machete before waving it around as he threatened employees.
Well, the bathroom's open again.
Several minutes, Clement was arrested and charged with disorderly conduct, but he just happened to have a machete on him.
Machete is as of late, is the weapon to have if you want to get in the bizarre file.
All right, how about this? A Tasmanian woman has pleaded guilty to stealing $940,000 from her employer to fund her addiction to an online gambling game that doesn't even pay out real money.
How's this happening?
Rachel Naomi Perry appeared in the Supreme Court charged with 25 counts of computer-related fraud and 1 count of fraud. The 49-year-old stole the money while working as an account manager at the Tasmanian Veterinary Hospital between 2016 and 19. It was only after she was made redundant in 2019 that anomalies were discovered in banking transactions. The prosecutor, Simone Wilson, told the court that over a period of 3 years and 4 months, Perry made 475 fraudulent transactions, stealing a total of $940,221. Perry, who was the sole person in charge of the managing accounts, was transferring the money from the hospital's bank account to a variety of bank accounts, credit cards, and personal loans in her name. Police also discovered that in 2015, she fraudulently took out $30,000 credit card in her husband's name without his knowledge and racked up about $24,000 in debt. She was interviewed by police, who immediately said, I'm guilty. Perry informed police that she had been playing a gambling game known as Heart of Vegas for the past 4 years, and that was where all her money had gone. It is similar to playing, it says here, pokies. I don't know what that is.
Pokies?
And
I always thought those were erect nipples.
You shop to purchase coins or credits. Heart of Vegas describes itself as featuring real Vegas slot machines just like the ones you know and love. But in its terms and conditions, it says players may be required to pay a fee to obtain virtual items. But regardless of the terminology used, virtual items may never be redeemed for real-world money. So you could just buy virtual things.
Huh.
And she had spent nearly $1 million on this game, not even gambling. It's insane. Apparently, she had left it on like an auto pay feature.
Oh, okay.
And that was, but she had a crazy addiction to it. Like she was playing it all the time.
Sounds it.
So she has been busted, and she is going to face charges.
The pokey is a slot machine in Australian slang.
Okay. All right. But it's crazy. And there you go. That is what I have in the bizarre file for you this morning. All right. What are we doing here? Is our guest ready to go?
Where is he? Looks like it. He has not started his video portion of his. There he is.
He was waiting to the last
story.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, your Philadelphia Wings season opener is on Saturday.
Hey!
Wings Lacrosse is happening, and we are happy to welcome a longtime friend of the show onto the program this morning, Mr. Kevin Crowley, who
Thanks,
is,
guys.
of course,
Thank you.
of the Philadelphia Wings. Hey, Kevin, how you doing, man?
I'm awesome. It's early. I'm on the West Coast right now, but happy to be on with you guys. I've missed you guys.
Nice, dude.
Every time I'm back in Philly, I'm always listening to your radio station. You guys are the best.
I appreciate it. So what do you reside on the West Coast, or what's the story?
So in June last year, I moved home for 3 months, thinking that because of the pandemic, everyone was inside. I might as well be close to my family.
Right.
So I wrote 3 months of rent checks, and then the borders obviously started. Were closed, and I ended up starting a lacrosse program out here because I didn't have any work going on the East Coast, and so I'm splitting time between Philly and Vancouver this season.
That's cool. And I see that you have a jersey with your name on it on the wall behind you, so that's how you know that's your room, correct?
Yeah, it's one of, you got to decorate for your Zoom calls, and this was the easiest thing I had.
No, it looks good. Looks good.
See that other one there?
Oh,
What's the other? What is that one?
That's our Team Canada one.
Yeah,
I got to represent Team Canada in the Olympic trials. It's kind of, they're trying a new format of lacrosse for the Olympics. It's called sixes. So it's kind of like how rugby went to rugby sevens. So they're doing a lacrosse sixes that's going to be in the Olympics in 2028.
So is that a more aggressive game, or what distinguishes that?
It's outside, but it's smaller roster numbers. So in the Olympic villages, they can't have teams of 30 that you typically have in outdoor lacrosse. So they have teams of 12, and it's 5-on-5 with a goalie up and down, similar to box lacrosse, like what you'd see with the wings, just outdoors.
Okay. What about game length? Is it because sevens is a really short game?
Yeah, it's 8-minute running time quarters, so 32 minutes total up and down.
Nice. All right. Well, that's interesting, man. All right, but we're excited about the fact that the season's getting started. You guys are playing Panther City, new club, a new expansion team.
Yeah, out of Dallas.
All right. Yeah, I was wondering because I saw Panther City. I'm like, I don't know.
Panther City?
Where the hell did that name come from?
It sounds like an offshoot of Wakanda.
I have a buddy who plays for that team, and every time he introduces himself in front of the kids, he's a coach for us. He's like, I play for Dallas, Fort Worth, Panther City Lacrosse Club. It's a mouthful.
It's like it's like Raccoon City, Preston.
Totally. So Kevin, how's the off season been for you, and how long you been getting in training shape and ready to go?
Yeah, it's been a long off season. It's been 600 days or so since we've last played at the Wells Fargo Center. Wow. So excited to get back at it. We've had a great training camp these past 4 weekends. We were first in Philly, and then we were up in Toronto most recently. Had a big, preseason win against Toronto yesterday, actually, or on Saturday night. So the boys are feeling good going into the weekend and excited to get to play in front of Philadelphia fans again.
Kevin, we've known you for a long time. You've come to Camp Out for Hunger year after year, and during Camp Out this year, for the first time in a year and a half, I went to the Wells Fargo Center. I saw a Sixers game, I think, on Monday night. Preston and Steve actually got to ring the bell, which was really cool. And then I went to a Flyers game on Tuesday night, and I just got to say, being back in that building was such a great experience. It had been so long. We did a sorority event at a Flyers game in February of 2020. And just to be back in there and hearing fans and having that sort of camaraderie again was a really cool feeling. I'm sure you guys are looking forward to getting back and just playing in front of fans again.
Yeah, it's, my competitive outlet has been through the kids that I coach now, because that's, up in Canada, our rules have been a lot more strict. So when I was living up here, we weren't even allowed to have contact. The kids weren't allowed to have contact on the field. So now that everything is, I hesitate to say turning back to normal here. It's been great to get that compete back in and play against other uniforms.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, did I read correctly that National Lacrosse League has signed a deal with ESPN? And if so, is this the first time that ESPN's gotten on board for professional lacrosse or indoor lacrosse?
I think we had a deal a couple years ago, but it was on their streaming. It's not on their main ESPN. And
ESPN Ocho?
The Ocho.
Us in dodgeball. Yeah. We also signed with TSN up in Canada, our leading sports provider. So it's the league's making huge strides and bringing in these big owners, and obviously with Panther City this year, and then next year we have Las Vegas coming into the league with an ownership group of Wayne Gretzky, Joe Tsai, Dustin Johnson, the golfer there, and Steve Nash, the basketball player. So, I think the sport's on the up and up, and it's an exciting time to be an athlete.
It is a great sport, and we've always talked about how much we love, and that's a sport that I think you need to see in person to really appreciate just how fast it moves, and there has a wholly different vibe. So I'm glad this is all going in that direction, because it's always been popular here in Philadelphia.
Yeah, and it's bigger. So even when it was popular back in my high school days, it has grown exponentially. Like the high schools have it. There's all these club teams. So I know that. So the last time I was at a game, I was just looking at my Instagram. It was January 10th, 2020. It was just before the shutdown, and I was able to bring my kids' basketball team to a game, which they had the best time, and so that's That's the thing. Like, it's great adult fun, but also it's an affordable night out to bring, today's youth out to the game as
Most
well.
definitely.
You're not going to break the bank bringing people to the game.
And entertain.
Yeah, tickets start at $18. You can get them at wingslax.com. The atmosphere in the building is just great. They play music the whole time, so it's upbeat. Obviously, like you said, a lot of entertainment for the kids and adults. You get to watch the physicality of the play out there. So it's just a great experience and a great atmosphere, thanks to the fans and how passionate they are. Really looking forward to Saturday.
Excellent. Well, it's underway on Saturday, like Kevin said, and tickets available at wingslax.com. Cool, man. Thanks for checking in, Kevin. Good luck with the season. I'm sure we'll talk to you soon, man.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Crowley, ladies and gentlemen. Kevin freaking Crowley.
He's a good dude.
For the ways he is. And it is a lot of fun going to those games. I love it. All right, we have to take a break, so we will do that very thing. We'll come back in a moment. Don't forget, we've got an announcement about another event that's going to be in our area. We'll get to that around 10 o'clock or so. So hang in there. We'll be back in just a moment.
You weren't allowed to wear the sunblock that you brought. You had to use the sunblock that they provided for you, and it's because the sunblock that most people wear is pretty damaging to the reef. And I was wondering if it would be damaging at all to like a pool filter or to the saltwater.
These are all good questions. Yeah, because some of the chemicals are pretty arch and can have that effect.
Yeah, and I've been snorkeling many times in my life, but this is the first time ever on a snorkel trip where I had to do this, and you weren't allowed to wear what you had, what you brought.
They provided.
They provided it for
you. Do you
you,
remember
yeah.
what it was? What type it was?
I don't. It was like an industrial vat.
It was called Reef Killer.
Yeah.
Reef Killer sunblock. A snorkel, by the way, as you're snorkeling, has a second tube that goes up back onto the beach so that someone could load M&Ms into them so that you can eat.
You're hungry.
So that's what a snorkel
is? A snorkel is a second food tube.
Okay.
So that you can swim longer.
Everybody wins.
That's great. They do have snuba. Snuba is legit.
I've heard of that, yeah.
Snuba.
Apparently snorkel is legit as well.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm serious.
If you can swim, you can snorkel. Yeah, he's absolutely right. Snorkel offers shallow dives.
Approximately 10 to 40 feet without cumbersome tanks and no diving certification necessary. That looks like snuba.
It does.
So what
a hose,
what
right?
they do is, they have a floating tank that stays above the water, and you basically take the regulator down, and it's a long tube, a long hose that you can breathe in. We're getting ready to get recertified to go into a refresher course for scuba to get set for our vacation. So I'm looking forward to it. But I'll ask about snorkel.
Yeah.
Zombie raccoons. That's my thing.
Yes.
That clumsily walk on two legs and show their teeth are staggering around suburban Chicago, and authorities are warning locals to hide their pets. A spike in raccoons testing positive for distemper in Riverside, Illinois, is to blame for the bizarre sightings of contaminated animals that the disease causes to appear zombie-like. While zombie raccoons don't eat brains, distemper is highly contagious. If you're feeding wildlife and that raccoon ate out of your bowl or cat food for your stray cats and your puppy goes over, the saliva can be contagious.
They sent in a Negan raccoon to take care of everything.
Well. Looks like we got ourselves a problem in Chi-Town. Leaning back high. Looks like we got some trouble. Some trouble in Chi-Town. Going deep dish on this bitch.
It's got a little leather jacket he wears. Yeah.
Lean back, way far. Ooh, hey. In the home of Oprah.
There was an email that was sent out that we were going to have our studios checked because there may have been bed bugs brought into the area. And we've had everything checked out. They actually just brought a dog in to sniff. Yeah, I think it was Jack Russell is what it looked like.
Josie was her name.
Josie is the dog. And There's no bed bugs.
Well, no, that's not true. There were on a chair.
Oh, was there?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Or it was sort of like a warm zone or something.
A warm
like that
zone.
They call those.
That's
So
what I call my chairs at home. Yeah, my warm zone.
I think what everybody was worried about was an infestation, which I guess is not the case if it was just on the chair. I don't know.
Just on the chair. The rest of the place is apparently clean. Josie scoured our studio and nothing.
And I'm never coming back again.
You would have thought there was a radiation leak here.
Yeah. So I never told my wife that there was a bed bug.
She wouldn't have let you go to work.
No.
That was the first thing I told my wife, and I started laughing.
Yeah.
Because, listen, I'm surprised that's all we have. They're ripping the entire building apart, walls that haven't been opened up in years.
Yeah.
I imagine at night there must be a big vermin hoedown when we leave. Because you walk around, there's these caverns. Like a wall will disappear.
Yeah.
There's a big opening now.
Yeah.
You walk down one hole, it's 11 degrees, and on the next hole, it's 1,400 degrees. It's a whole new environment. It's like you're on some spaceship that's just, morphing all the time, and that's what this is here.
Well, I'm just glad that they alerted us to it. Yeah. Because during some of the construction, apparently they were removing asbestos, and nobody ever told us.
Well, that's when that wall went up down at the end of the hallway.
Yeah.
Because and I almost walked into that wall. That's how quickly it went up. I started to turn down to go down to what I thought was Chuck's office down the hall that used to exist.
Like Looney Tunes.
And there was a wall.
So my wife will, when we go check into a hotel, it's always the same situation. We open the door, we shut the door, we leave our bags right at the door while she goes and strips all the beds and looks through all the furniture for bed bugs. She's like definitely
She's fanatical. So before you guys even enter the room, we
have to leave our bags at the door. There's an inspection.
I really wanted to come in a hazmat suit or some sort of bubble, but I couldn't find anything.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
I'm going through our text chain, and I'm like, hey, by the way, this is going on. I'm not going to tell my wife. And then Kathy immediately goes from 0 to freaking out.
Oh, yeah.
Get the F out of here. I'm not coming into work tomorrow. Who the F has bed bugs? Holy F. No. Like 1,000 exclamation points. And then she says, do you know how hard it is to get rid of bed bugs? What's the company going to do about it? And when? And then Preston sends a GIF, of like a bedbug jug band.
Yeah, playing music. And then Kathy fires back, that's not funny.
It's not funny.
I think I said F you to anybody who's not taking this seriously.
And then I think Nick said, read Joe's email. And then Kathy says, F the email, F the bedbugs, and F whoever doesn't think this is a big deal. Where are we going to do our show tomorrow? Clearly, we can't go to the station, and we need an on-site location.
My house is clean.
My house is clean.
Yeah. You're ready to set up shop somewhere else.
100%. If you guys would have said, yeah, we have to do the show somewhere else, I would offer it up my house.
Oh, really? Oh, my God.
So it was one bug down the hall, right?
Yes!
Okay, I'm just asking.
Could you see Casey coming home? Diane wants to check him, so she takes out the blue light. Doesn't find any bed bugs, just semen stains.
All over my face.
We're good.
The woman was saying that they have dogs that can do all sorts of that check for bugs that actually will.
Wait a minute. I thought you meant that bed bugs use dogs to travel around.
Mush.
For a ride.
I thought you meant as piggybacking.
You've never seen the bed bug Iditarod?
No.
It's good. Yeah.
It must be majestic.
It's compelling.
Yeah, good dog, good dog. Good dog. Yeah. I love being out here in the open range. Yeah.
Let's see here. As Godzilla versus Kong, starring Millie Bobby Brown, performed much better than expected given the circumstances of COVID and so on, and the original movie King of the Monsters' lackluster box office performance. A threequel is expected with Adam Wingard set to direct again.
So he just directed the most recent one,
I believe so, yeah.
Right.
So according to the Hollywood Reporter, the concept being floated is Son of Kong. Godzilla vs. Kong has crossed $400 million globally and is the top-grossing Hollywood-produced movie since the pandemic hit.
They're going to have to correct something now in both these, Son of Kong and Son of Godzilla. You gotta have a female Godzilla. Something. Mm-hmm. Who's he banging?
Yeah.
Where does this? Not unless they're asexual. They reproduce that way. I mean, there's only
it's Son of Kong,
right? But there's also Son of Godzilla.
Oh, is there Son of Godzilla?
Yes, I'm sure that's in the works as well.
So maybe he could reproduce asexually. I don't know. We don't know much about Godzilla. He's kind of a mystery, but definitely not Kong.
Well, Godzilla
Definitely
could.
not.
No, he's more.
Yeah.
He's a simian.
He's a mammal.
Why do we assume that Kong is a man? Wouldn't
We
see
know it. He's all man.
Well, I don't know.
Wouldn't he be Queen Kong?
Yeah, he'd be Queen Kong.
Okay, fair point. But I didn't see any low-hanging fruit, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, they left that out. In fact, can you on apes, or do they? I've never.
Is there junk external?
That's a good question.
Apparently, it's pretty small. I remember. We talked one point about animal genitalia.
Yeah, but even on Kong, it would be big enough.
You're right.
But it'd be the size of a
proportionally
VW, you know.
Yeah,
it'd be the size of me.
Be as tall as Steve.
I want to see King Dong. I want to see it.
There actually was a movie called King Dong.
Of course, there was.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's a rom-com. Like he's romancing this lady, and that's about how they have the baby together.
Oh, the next Kong movie?
Next one, yeah.
4 weddings and a King Kong.
That could be. It could be something like that. We'll have to see. An inspiring story.
Giant ape walked into her life.
All right. So anyhow, we will see if that comes to pass or not. But
how big his junk is, and whether there's a Mrs. Kong.
Son of Kong. We'll have to see.
What a goddamn day today. Sit down. I'll make you some dinner. I'm fighting these things that are apparently prehistoric, and yet I've never seen them, and I'm on an island. You'd think I would run across. I don't even know why they evolved that way. They're like snake things with. Give me a beer.
Yeah, think about it tomorrow.
You want to do a little grab ass?
Yeah. Khloe Kardashian.
Let's take this upstairs.
Kong! What are you doing?
Just a little finger stuff.
Oh my God.
There's no little finger stuff in here.
Oh, it's bigger than my penis.
No, it's perfect.
A lot of gorillas are like that.
It's okay, baby. It happens. No, not to me. It's those dumb lizard things I met today.
You can't stop thinking about it.
I'm distracted.
Forget about the lizard things. Come upstairs.
Let's have some oysters.
Okay. Should I move on to Khloe Kardashian now? Okay, thank you.
Same size.
I have the floor now.
Maybe that. There you go. King Kong marries Khloe Kardashian.
Today, it was, I guess, 25 years ago today or recently within the last week or so.
I think it's today. It's a magical day, or at least a magical time. You can sort of feel it in the air.
Yeah, you even look outside.
Yeah.
The trees are swaying, I think, in honor of the fact that it is the 25th anniversary of the movie Twister.
Yeah. A legendary film.
Oh, my God.
Legendary, horrible film.
I remember looking forward to going and see. I took my mom. She was visiting in town. And I took her to go see the movie, and the big hook were the effects. Because at the time, the effects were kind of groundbreaking, the CGI depicting these tornadoes.
And they were amazing for the time. They did a great job.
Yeah. It was such a stupid movie.
The whole concept.
It was just piss poor.
Yeah. The rival... storm chasers.
Yeah.
There's the corporate storm chasers and the more grassroots in it for the love of the storm. The whole background story on Linda Hunt's character, Helen Hunt's Joe Harding.
Not Linda.
Yeah.
Very, very different.
Yeah. So the Helen Hunt's story about her dad being sucked away in a twister while they were in the
memoir.
Should we call for a dance party on the Northeast Extension?
I think they need it.
To get out and get out of your cars right now and do the electric slide.
Do we have it at the ready?
No, I don't think so.
Is it too cold?
But
No,
it's too cold.
because that would warm you up.
It's too cold, and they're moving them off. So it's not a dead standstill.
No, only at a dead standstill.
Well, the people who are stuck between Quakertown and Lansdale, they can dance.
You could dance if you want to.
Hey, Madonna said that.
You could dance if you want to. For inspiration.
That's
yes.
right.
I was thinking more Men at Hat.
You can dance if you want to. Yes, it's a great song.
Yeah. No, rather than do that, we are going to talk about things in our area. It's time for the City Beat, people.
Scoobity wow wow. Oh, he's collected up all the stories about the city you love, or one of the cities you love, or maybe even the city you don't like.
Well, I got this story. Nick passed it along because he was aware of what was going on. This is out of the Philly Voice, this article that he sent to me.
I had not heard about this.
And Nick, did you experience this?
Yeah,
Okay.
twice. And so I saw this particular phenomenon, and then last week before we left for Thanksgiving on Wednesday, my mom saw it as well. And so we were trying to figure out what the hell was going on.
So these are low-flying, unmarked helicopters. By low-flying, I mean very low, like hovering really low to the ground.
Get to the chopper!
And it started last week. The Philly Voice started getting emails and tipsters checking in about mysterious choppers that were appearing, and the first one they got was out of Mount Airy. Where did you see yours?
So I saw it twice, and once was last week, and then once was the week before. And I drive on the Blue Route every day, and there's a section of the Blue Route where the it used to be called the R5, whatever it is, the line that goes from the train line that goes from Villanova to St. David's crosses over the Blue Route, and right there, I mean, literally 20, 25 feet above the train tracks, was a helicopter just hovering, not moving a lot.
Didn't have anything attached to it.
No, and so I slowed down I was headed southbound, and then there was a bit of a gape or delay headed northbound on the Blue Route as well as people were looking at it. And then, so that was, I guess, about 2 weeks ago, and then I saw it again last week, and that's exactly where my mom saw it as well.
You mentioned Mount Airy. Now I made a connection. When did this start?
I saw it first a week and a half ago, and then I saw it again last week, and then my mom saw it on Wednesday.
So a couple of days ago, I was outside, and I heard a bizarre aircraft sound in close proximity. I was looking around for it, but I could not see it. And if it was hovering low, I might not have been able to see it on the horizon.
Yeah.
But it stayed for a while and then stopped. But it's like, you're used to the sounds of your neighborhood.
Right.
And this seemed like an anomaly.
But we talked about this a little while ago, and I think it was Nick and I, maybe summertime-ish, where we had seen a helicopter. I had taken a picture, and I think we posted it, and somebody looked up the tail number. So if you can see the tail number, you can look and see what they're doing. And what they were doing in my neighborhood was some sort of wire inspection. And that's what concerned me, because I was like, they're so close to the wires. Well, that's what they were inspecting. So it's probably some sort of inspection, and if they're over train tracks, they may even be inspecting those.
So they were alerted to Gresham Valley Drive near Mount Airy, Chestnut Hill border, Wayne Avenue and Washington Lane, hovering over the train tracks on Route 420 in Prospect Park, West Deptford in Gloucester County, Glenold in Delaware County, Elkins Park, Tacony, Pennsport, Germantown, so a bunch of these.
So I initially thought it's because I was sunbathing outside and they were wanting to get a better
Get
look.
photos. Well, there was a tabloid.
I mean,
and
God.
they were trying to get pictures.
So we've seen guys do wire work, from a helicopter. Is it possible they were doing that? Have we confirmed?
Well, I know what it is. I have
What is
the
it?
info.
Oh, you do?
The info's in the article, so I'm just kind of setting it up.
All right.
In case you guys were wondering. But an anonymous law enforcement source had noted that the same chopper was overhead last month, and that they were told it was CSX Railways inspecting the tracks.
Okay.
But that's not what it was. Dun, dun, dun.
Tricking us.
The plot thickens.
That's not what it was.
They said that they will use helicopter patrols of transmission lines and related equipment on a regular basis. But apparently, yes, it was Pico.
Pico.
Yeah. So it says here, asked whether he knew if it's been happening of late. Here, hang on, let me back up a second. Word from Amtrak derailed the theory that they were checking the train tracks. Says any low-flying helicopters or Amtrak rail lines are inspecting power lines owned by utility companies.
You're in that helicopter, and you're nothing but a chameleon, lemon-headed, coward, terrorist, and I'm after you, buddy.
He's upset.
What the hell's lemon-headed?
That was a guy at like a city council meeting who thought that people were hovering over his house with a helicopter.
I think the thing on the table was, are we going to put a stop sign on Elm Street? And this guy gets
You're in that helicopter, and you're nothing but a chameleon, lemon-headed, coward, terrorist, and I'm after you, buddy.
Lemon-headed.
Chameleon. Yeah. Like he blends into the cloud.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So anyhow, it goes on to note Utilities pay Amtrak to have their power lines run along our right-of-way. This is according to a gentleman who works at Amtrak's Media Relations Department. Asked whether he knew if that's been happening of late. He deferred questions to the utility companies themselves, and then they spoke to a PICO spokesperson.
I am the official spokesperson.
Who said, yes, we do helicopter patrols of transmission lines and related equipment on a regular basis. Yes, people are taking pictures from those helicopters. Yes, we were doing so in and around the area on good weather days last week. So that is what it is.
Gotcha.
So there are power lines that run along the train tracks, and they were checking those out.
So they're like linemen for the county.
Yes. And they're still on the line.
Oh, my God.
But he goes on to say it gives us a different vantage point so we can document any conditions of concern and relay it back to the repair crews.
I think if you were a train operator on a SEPTA train or an Amtrak headed in either direction, if you didn't know that helicopter was going to be there, it'd be pretty damn jarring.
You'd wonder what the hell is going on.
You wonder if you were in that helicopter.
Because you're a
or not.
lemon-headed chameleon.
Yeah.
And you're nothing but a chameleon, lemon-headed, coward, terrorist, and I'm after you, buddy.
It's like that. You've seen the footage where we've marveled at it, Preston, where the guys get up on the high tension cables.
Yeah.
And as long as they don't complete the connection, they can do work on them. But they're on these, cables that are surging with, all this electricity.
I am a lineman for the county, and I fly a helicopter.
This, they need to take this rod and stick it out, and for the static electricity,
right, because you don't want to get
you can get
fried.
zapped. And they will replace parts from the helicopter as well. It's pretty wild. I saw it wasn't a documentary, but it was a feature on what those guys do.
It's amazing.
It's wild, yeah.
That's pretty wild that they were doing this.
They said they do this annually along 1,000 miles of lines in Pico's service area.
Lineman for the county.
So if that's what you were wondering about, that's what it was.
I am a lineman for the county.
Love this song.
Okay.
And
I play it on my zither.
Oh, now somebody's actually angry because this is about telephone lines and not electrical lines.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
So what is this now? It's a Pico? You naturally assume it was
what?
Power lines, right?
It is power lines, but somebody's saying the song.
Oh, we know that.
Lineman for the county is about.
I am a lineman for
It's about telephone lines.
It's not about power lines.
And not electric.
You can't say
You're in that helicopter talking about
Power lines when we knew it was telephone lines. I'm on to you, buddy.
And you know what? I'm surprised. Yeah, somebody had posted about drones doing work like this. I'm surprised they still use helicopters for that. But I guess maybe there are areas that you would have to get further away from where a drone is operated. You know what I mean? And, and can be in the helicopter.
I don't know what
you
they're
can be
doing.
in that helicopter.
Got their lemon-headed chameleon.
Yeah. All right. So anyhow, that's what that was all about. If you're curious, and people can get paranoid about helicopters.
Oh my God, like this guy.
You're in that helicopter, and you're nothing but a chameleon, lemon-headed, coward, terrorist, and I'm after you, buddy.
I am a lineman for the county.
One of the best stories I ever heard was my friend Joey, a comedian, Joey Cola. He was touring, and he's driving at night, and he's hearing, and he's looking out the window like, this goddamn helicopter following me. He's a freak.
Oh, my God.
His tire was going flat.
Oh. I thought you were going to say it was that Billy Joel song on the radio.
Oh, we'll all go down together? Yeah.
But I always try to figure out what the helicopter, like, is it news? Is it a medevac?
Yeah.
Is it something else?
Yeah.
I always look.
Is it a superstar being brought to some location?
Maybe.
You never know.
Been dropped off in my backyard.
Might be. All right. Other city beat stories. Let's go with this one. Barstool Sports.
Yes.
Is going to be opening up a bar in Center City. A new sports bar that focuses on online betting.
So they've made
which is weird.
Yeah, a big entree into this. They have their own app and site, and they're making tons of cash with this.
So that's the deal. So they're not. You can't. It's not a betting facility, but you can go there, and it's just saying it's a nice place to do your online betting while you're hanging out.
So you can sit there on your phone.
Yeah.
I guess. And I assume there's screens that are putting up data and stats and things of that nature. Is that what it is?
Maybe.
Okay.
It's
I don't
partly
know.
owned by Penn National Gaming, which bought a 36% stake in Barstool in 2020 for $136 million.
Jesus.
The
You
new-
really should have gotten a piece of our ice cream.
The new bar will not be a betting.
Somebody asked me if that was still in stores.
It will not be a betting parlor, something that would require a special license. Rather, the venue will provide food, drinks, and an atmosphere conducive to online sports betting.
Well, here's the deal. Also,
You know, like your house.
yeah. Well, Portnoy has a whole pizza line now.
Yeah.
He's a pizza aficionado. So I would bet you that pizza will be a prominent item at this restaurant.
A key goal for the bar is promoting Barstool's online sports betting app, which is currently available in 11 states. The bar will be near Ladder 15 at 1528 Sansom Street.
Oh, yeah. I like that bar.
The new bar will be located at 1213 Sansom Street.
Should we set up a betting app, but that where you don't actually lose any money ever?
Oh, I like the idea of that. But we wouldn't get anything from
Nothing.
that.
But that's our business acumen. That's how we approach everything. What's the best way for us to not profit off of this?
So the new place will be filling the space that was formerly home to the Brick Wall Tavern. Currently, a liquor license application out for that address. Although a Penn National executive announced in August that Barstool would be opening 2 new bars in Philadelphia and Chicago, until now the locations for both have been kept under wraps, and an opening date for the new venues has not been announced.
Is Portnoy still living in Philly?
No,
Dave?
I don't think
Okay.
so.
'Cause he
Oh,
was
maybe
here,
he was.
He
I
was
don't
here
know.
for a stretch, and he was doing the pizza tour and
helping small businesses.
Yeah, and he's a really interesting person. I don't love everything that he does, but this little empire he's built for himself is pretty fascinating.
It is amazing. And also, if you stop and think about, Preston, how dominant this online gambling, sports gambling
God.
has become.
Dude,
if you watch Jeopardy,
Oh, my
at
God.
that time in the evening, I guess that's when they assume most people are home and are reaching for their gambling phones.
Yeah.
Every other spot.
It's Jeopardy, every Flyers game, every Sixers game. I mean, it's just, and everybody has their own little platform.
Yeah, this is going to be a new trend. This is not the first one of these. Actually, Steven Starr announced a little while ago that he is opening up a sports bar type betting place in the old Boyd Theater on 19th and Chestnut.
Do we know if what we're saying is basically like we used to go to like an off-track betting,
Yeah.
we were talking about that, where you'd see all the data up there and you make your...
You know what, Steve? I don't know if it actually has like the gambling license, but it's definitely a sports bar with food and drinks.
All right.
And then it's, enhanced betting. In fact, I was at another bar over the weekend and they had you ever see like those TVs with ads running?
Yes.
They had one of those with sports betting at Locust
Huh.
Rendezvous.
No, wait, I don't understand. How does this make this different than an average sports bar?
Because it has it in the name.
That's
so
it?
It's an average sports bar.
It is encouraging.
It's a sports bar. Come here and do your betting here because we got TVs that have sports on.
There you go.
There we go.
So it's a gimmick.
It's ingenious.
There you go.
This is a gimmick.
Hey, really
That's
quickly-
why I was reading. I'm like, this doesn't sound any different than any standard sports bar. But anyway.
And that was a big college 20s, like a ladder 15 type bar in that spot that they're
Okay.
filling.
All
so
right.
it needed a hole. So I'm glad it has getting.
If they have face painting, I'm on board.
But just really quickly, because you mentioned Ladder 15, I just wanted to send condolences to the owner of Ladder 15, passed away last week. Max, who we've all met many times over the years. Very nice. Steve Riverpalooza was like your spot, your jam.
That's right.
River down there, he had those places as well too. So
Did you say Max?
Max Tucker was his name.
Oh, man, that's sad.
So
Oh.
sorry to bring it down. I
No,
wanted
no.
to mention
Okay.
that and send my condolences to his family.
Okay. Thank you, Marissa. So opening dates for the new venues have not been announced as of yet. Just one more thing from the City Beat.
It's a lot of good stuff.
I think
Scoobly wow wow.
This one from Philly Voice as well. Sixers and Flyer fans can rejoice because the end is near for the $300 million reconstruction of the Wells Fargo Center.
Wow, that much?
Project that was 5 years in the making. Yeah.
Dude, did you guys see the outdoor deck area that they
I did
have?
not. What's it like?
I mean, it's
nice.
I've only seen it from the outside ground level, but it's on the side. I guess the Xfinity Live side
Yeah.
of it, and it's maybe off where the Cadillac Club was.
I saw it from up on High Case. So they added windows upstairs so you can look towards the city, which is nice.
Is it fenced in?
I guess. Yeah, but I mean, it's pretty open space.
Oh.
I don't know who can access it, though. Is it for only the Cadillac Club members, or?
You have to, I think, go through the Cadillac Club, but I believe it's open to everybody.
Okay.
But they added that. There's that space downstairs underneath the seats. They added that 1.5 years or 2 years ago. So, yeah, and I remember this, part of this expansion was sort of to prevent the Sixers from getting their own arena. There was talk at one point that the Sixers might want to move to New Jersey, or their practice facilities in Camden. So they said, "Don't move. We're gonna make this building better," and they really have.
Maybe that's what the helicopters are scouting new Sixers sites.
The arena announced in a release on Wednesday that work will begin on a revamped club level. The area that contains the venue's skybox premium seating after the Flyers and Sixers end their season. The new club level, which will be debuted in fall of next year, is the last spectator-facing segment of the construction project.
I love what they've done, their additions and that open area where we had our sorority club event. It was like the last thing we did before COVID hit. It was awesome.
New features include a reworked premium seating entrance. So if you have premium seating, you have your own special entrance. A 13,000 square foot open concept floor plan and revamped high-end culinary offerings.
High-end culinary offerings.
Yeah, because I mean, I guess that Cadillac Club is the only really
restaurant,
nice dining.
Although
you can get food all over the place, obviously, but for a sit down, a little bit nicer,
a full dinner.
Yeah, that's your spot.
But they have a nice little area where I guess it's on the 11th Street side, the entrance side, that they've completely revamped there. And it's kind of like, Press, when you go to the airport, that one little dining area where the Chick-fil-A is and all that.
Yeah, the food court. Yeah.
It's very much like a food court right there.
I went to a Flyers game with Dr. Mike one time. This is 5 or 6 years ago. He invited me, and he used to be Mr. Snyder's doctor.
Yes.
Right.
And so we got to go to the Chairman Club. You ever been in that room?
No.
I felt like I was walking into Tiffany's and I was there to buy something that I couldn't afford.
Like road flares.
Yeah. Where are your road flares? I felt so out of place, but man, is it nice. And it faces sort of Broad Street and where the Spectrum used to be, like that corner of the building. And that's where all the highfalutin types go. And
I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, the
what's it called?
The chairman's room or the chairman, something like that.
Chairman's room.
Yeah, and I felt very privileged to be there. It was a nice spot.
Oh. You like it here? It's great. They got great drinks here. Dr. Mike shouting as he's bringing you in there. So apparently the new features, like I said, have the higher end culinary offerings. Through a new celebrity chef program, the arena will offer gourmet menu options curated by Philly area food and drink experts. That's in addition to several bars on the club level.
I'm interested in this.
Additionally, the premium parking lot will be located. It'll be relocated so that it is immediately adjacent to the redesigned premium seating entrance, which will make it easier for club level ticket holders to enter and exit the venue.
There's really nothing that can be done with improving entrance and egress from that parking lot, because it's just too. You're buttressed up against 95.
Right.
You've got the link on one side. There's really nowhere to go.
Hey,
nowhere to go.
When we went to the Sixers game, when you guys were ringing the bell, remember, we kind of I was a little bit lost on which way we should go, and we ended up hanging at where it looked like the will call and the ticket office was, right?
Yeah, right by there.
It seemed like they moved that all together to that side of or what is that?
That's been there for a long time. That's like an executive entrance.
That's the executive entrance, but the thing that I went into, the vestibule, was a whole other ticket window. All those people, there's a guy named Steve that I know. He was normally on the Broad Street side.
That was a whole different thing. I'd not seen that area.
So I'm just sort of thinking right now, I didn't see what was on the other side, on the Broad Street side. If all that stuff got moved to where we were, what's on that side now?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I have to.
I think that shifted also to the Spectrum side. I think they shifted all of where those ticket windows were down north,
right
to the north end of the building.
But what's there now?
I don't know.
Yeah. I have to check that
Good
out.
question.
I thought the ticket window was to the right of that executive.
That's what I'm saying.
It used to be
there anymore.
No, that's where I was.
I didn't walk over there.
Yeah, because I went in
Oh, okay.
I went in to see where we were supposed to walk in, and like now in hindsight, I'm like, wait a second, that was the ticket window that we normally. But that's just a ton of real estate. That was a giant area of that building.
Once the new club level is complete, work will be focused on the event level. So down where the floor, the event floor is, where whether it's hockey or basketball or whatever is going on, a concert. New team locker rooms and performer amenities will be built. And the area will make improvements to the building's exterior as well.
I wonder if they're going to get a Dunkaccino machine.
You would hope so.
That'd be cool.
Do we have any hot chocolate yet?
We have
Did that happen
nothing.
while we were
I
on?
mean, I've never seen levels this low. Now I know this is a privileged thing that we have because we run on Dunkin'. But the levels for everything, including the hot chocolate, Preston, are virtually completely out.
By the way, renovations for the Wells Fargo Center began back in 2016 when it was preparing to host the Democratic National Convention. So they've been at it for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And they're getting a lot closer to wrapping it up. They're gonna be done by the fall with the club level stuff, and then that should be the last part of it. By the way. All right, that's all we have time for in the City Beat. We got to wrap up, but we are going to have a chance for you, diehard Preston and Steve fan, to join us for the Preston and Steve Christmas Miracle 2021 Miller Lite Ugly Sweater Edition, December 21st. We'll take callers 15 and 16. You have to be at least 21 years of age. You need to know about this show. If you do not, you may get up on stage and crumble and not get squat.
Yeah.
And you'll be ridiculed.
We want the best for you.
Callers 15. Did I say 15 and 16? 215-263 WMMR. You and a friend get to go, but only you will be eligible for the Christmas Miracle prizes. Remember, your guests must be at least 21 years of age to attend, as well as coming up on the 21st at Parks Casino inside the Excite Center.
And we get to see you.
Take a break and be right back. Stay with us.
Storm Cellar, and she's always had this love-hate relationship with the Storms. But it's horrible. But again, at that time, the effects-wise, you'd never seen anything like that.
No, effects-wise. So here's my vivid memory of this movie. Because if it was 25 years ago today, I was just getting done my junior year of college. I was a lifeguard, and I was at my boss, the guy who owned the company. I was at his house getting all the supplies ready to clean out pools. We did apartment pools. And he talked like this, like his voice was like this, right? And so it's me and my little brother, and we're power washing all this stuff in his driveway. And he goes, I saw Twister last night, and those tornadoes were real. And he said that. Those tornadoes were real. He must have said that like a half a dozen times. My little brother, it was me and him, my younger brother, sorry. It was me and him. And so we will, I mean, even 25 years later, if the word tornado comes up in conversation, he and I will say, those tornadoes were real.
What was that guy's name?
I don't want to say his name.
What's his first name?
What was his first name? Last name?
You just know his last name?
Joe.
Okay.
Let's go with Joe.
Hey, Joe, how were those tornadoes?
Those tornadoes were real.
I love that story so much.
Was he suggesting that they had incorporated? What was his point? Was that they were not created for the movie, that they were corralling tornadoes and using them in the film?
I think what he meant to say was those tornadoes looked real.
Okay.
But he said that they were real. And he had like a real affinity towards just weather. He loved weather.
He was a weather guy.
Yeah, he loved weather.
It was like Philip Seymour Hoffman in the movie.
Well, I mean, listen, he owned a pool supply and lifeguarding company, so weather was definitely...
What I really love is weather.
Yeah. Weather's important to that line of work. Absolutely.
Yeah. Those tornadoes are real.
Oh, my God.
I wonder if my brother's
great.
texting me.
It's almost kind of Don Nazi.
Yeah.
Wait, I just said Don Nazi.
Very different.
Don Nazi.
Citizens of Mayberry, I find nice and gloomy.
Oh, my God. I didn't even mean to do that. Wow. Okay.
Floyd in here. I have something for him to do. We got to talk about this Jewish thing.
All right. But you guys would be surprised how many people are texting in on how this is their favorite movie.
Yeah.
Or that it's their.
I don't even get why we're talking about it.
It's the 25th anniversary.
We're talking about it
Tornadoes
because
were real.
Who cares?
I mean, come on, Cap.
it
was real.
By the way, when Casey says that, he puts his hands by his sides.
Yeah.
I'm trying to like he pushes them into his sticks his elbows out and goes, it was real.
Those tornadoes were real.
Primal Fear. Ed Norton has them as a very diabolical character, right? I remember he's completely psychopathic.
A good twist.
It's a twist, yeah.
It's a twister.
It was real. Those tornadoes were real.
Dude. I can't believe we just met this guy.
I can't believe I never took
You've never brought it
I
up.
love that.
Dude, that guy, man. He lived in this beautiful, huge home. I'm like, how the hell, like looking back on it, I'm like, how the hell did you just own a pool company? You know what I mean? Anyway.
There you go. Yeah.
All right, well, good on
And he
him.
My family money is real.
I want to get movie reviews from that guy.
Yes.
Other movies
from Joe.
Yeah.
I love it. After grieving her husband Prince Philip's death, Queen Elizabeth is back to her royal duties. On Tuesday, she made her first official appearance following Philip's funeral. And she was seen, grinning. I thought it said grinding.
I thought it said gurning.
She's gurning. Now, what's this? I'm sucking my chin into my mouth.
Wait, do we have the bell? It's the gurning.
Her Royal Majesty will now suck her chin into her mouth as part of the royal gurning. Her Royal Majesty will contort her face by sucking her chin up into her mouth.
If you're not familiar with gurning, it's when people take their false teeth out and suck their lips into their mouth.
If you know what bitter beer face is.
Yeah, that's gurning. So she was seen gurning during two virtual audiences with Windsor Castle. So yeah,
Prince Charles will gurn simply by standing there.
No, it was grinning is the word I read incorrectly. So.
By the way, this very bell came from England.
No.
Really?
Yes, it did. I ordered it on Amazon, and it came, and there was the parcel information said from England. So maybe it's the one the Queen uses.
It might be. Might be.
Where's my goddamn bell?
the gurning.
I sold it on Amazon.
There we go. We had mentioned this earlier this morning, but it's definitely worth bringing up. The restaurant named Cadence, which is a BYOB on Girard Avenue, was named the best new restaurant by Food and Wine.
That's a super well respected journal in the world of the culinary happenings.
Yeah.
And so this is a big honor.
But in the order, you have Cadence is number one in Austin, Texas. Suerte. Frenchette in New York, Conby in Los Angeles, Kumiko in Chicago. These are all one-word names.
Manny's Chili Dogs.
Ah, that's on there. No, Pat's Chili Dogs.
Pat's Chili Dogs.
Yes.
Pat's Chili Dogs.
Definitely the best theme.
Yeah.
Number one in Food and Wine magazine. Yeah.
That was from the band Cinderella when they were big in the area. They did
We're Warren. When we were in town, we wanted some good chili dogs. We always read through Food and Wine magazine to see who won.
They did a commercial for Pat's Dogs.
That building is now a We Buy Gold.
Oh, is it really?
We buy gold. Gold for sale. No more chili dogs. I'm not going west. Next step, selling blood.
Yeah. So number 6 on this list is Ada, which is Ada Indian Canteen.
Ooh, I love canteens. When you go in that, you need water.
Fox and the Knife in Boston.
Boston sucks.
Hey, we beat Boston.
Love me some good Fox.
There you go.
Suck at Boston.
How's the Fox at this place?
Indigo in Houston, Nightshade in Los Angeles, and in New Orleans, a place called Piece of Meat.
There you go. You know, it's I think one of the most difficult parts of a restaurant would be a name that means something and pops to people.
Yeah.
You know, like Pat's Chili Dogs.
Right. That's. Yeah, I mean, you know, the name will only get you so far, but it is an added bonus. Answer the phone, by the way. Thank you very much. I don't know. If you had a restaurant, what would you name it?
I'd name it Answer the Phone.
Yeah, thank you.
Because
I'm sorry. I'm tired of waving my arms.
Yeah.
It's been happening
You
the
lose
last few
business.
days, and I'm just going to say answer the phone.
Answer
from
the
now on.
goddamn phone.
Yeah, answer. In fact, I'll say it that way.
Yeah.
That should be the name of the restaurant.
Answer the goddamn.
Answer the goddamn.
Answer the goddamn phone! Great food! Answer the goddamn phone! Open all night!
We've been mentioning all morning long, tickets for the Barbecue go on sale right now. It is exactly 10 a.m.
Yeah.
You can get your tickets. The lawn seats start at just $25, and we want you to get on board because we want you to be there for all of the bands and all the activities that are taking place. We're going to have Aaron Jones, who we just played, Dorothy, Mammoth, Wolfgang Van Halen's band, Mammoth, he will be there. Dirty Honey, Cheap Trick, The Offspring, and the band that this gentleman is in, who is joining us right now. We're so excited to have Jane's Addiction on the bill.
Yeah.
And like I said, I've seen them before. I saw them at the Spectrum ages ago.
Amazing, right?
Blew me out of the water. One of my favorite shows in that building of all time. Please welcome Mr. Dave Navarro.
Yeah.
Our show today. Good morning, Dave.
Hi, guys.
Hey, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me. That's a very nice welcome.
It's our pleasure, man. Like I said, yeah, I've seen you guys before. I know the kind of energetic show that you bring, and that you guys get the audience in on the party. You make it happen, and it's been a while since we've partied, Dave. So big expectations.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
Well, big expectations for me too. I got to tell you, the other night, LA is starting to open up and have indoor eating and dining and things like that. And I went to a restaurant the other night, and it was overwhelming. Just people and noise and things going on and plates being dropped. And then I thought forward to our show coming up in September. I was like, man, I'm not even prepared to be in a restaurant.
What baby steps?
But
you know what I mean? Like, what is it going to be like walking out onto like a festival audience with you guys? But I'm excited to do it, man. It's been a long time. So
the way
we're pretty psyched.
The way it's progressing is that the show is it's at the end of September. So again, everyone's sort of feeling their way. It's like the cobwebs are lifting and the doors are opening and everyone's looking above ground. And by that time, I think we're going to be in a nice swing of thing. But I can't think of a better scenario, especially since it'll be a little bit cooler in September.
Yeah.
And the roster's great. And Preston's seen you guys a number of times, and I've always wanted to see Jane's Addiction, and people are freaking out.
Oh, that's great. Thank you for that. Yeah, I'm also super excited to see Wolfgang's band.
Yes.
Yeah, we've been talking quite a bit about that, David. I want to get your take on this because the music that we've heard so far, very impressive. He had a lot to live up to, and that's another thing. And I'm hoping for the best because not only is he a young musician trying to make his way, but I need somebody to carry on that Eddie
legacy.
Legacy,
The mantle?
thank you. Yeah. And that's got to be a tremendous amount of pressure on him, I assume. I'm sure he's gladly going to take this on, but it's got to be a weird position to be in.
Yeah, I would imagine the best thing for him is to acknowledge that and be aware of it, but to just do his own thing, man.
Yeah.
He's his own human being, and like he's got his direction musically. And from what I've seen, it is very different than Van Halen. It's a little bit more, more modern rock, I suppose.
Yeah.
But he's fantastic, and I want to see him. I want to check out the band, and I'm going to do everything in my power to not tell him how much your dad meant to me.
I know. It's hard though, right?
You know, it's going to be impossible, but you know how hard that's going to be to not do. But yeah, I mean, I hope the best for him, and I typically don't get to when we do these festival shows. I typically don't get to them early, but I'm definitely going to come down and check out Wolfie, and I'll probably check out Cheap Trick too, because Xander's a friend, and I played with him a bunch of times. And a weird side note for me is that I think the first concert I ever went to was Cheap Trick opening up for Kiss.
Wow. Oh my God.
Yeah. Like in the 70s.
Yeah.
And so to be on the same bill with them as Cheap Trick and as Jane's Addiction is a pretty big deal for me. Just in terms of like, having a little personal clash with my own history, I suppose.
Well, Dave, I have to tell you, I had my upper thigh felt at a backyard barbecue to a Cheap Trick song in the 70s. So, yes.
I don't know that we can top that experience for you.
I mean, that was good.
Hey, Dave,
at least you had that.
I wanted to ask, with the length of time it's been since musicians have had a chance to do live shows. I mean, you can pick up the guitar and you can play it and you can keep your chops going, just doing a little rehearsing here and there and writing and whatever you may be doing. But is there a difference between keeping the instrument fresh and being on stage? Or do you have to get your stage legs together, essentially, is what I'm asking?
I mean, I don't know. We've been doing it for so long. And, believe it or not, Jane's Addiction has historically taken years off, years of hiatuses. And so, we're just coming out of COVID, and it's been a while since we've been on stage, but we are ironically very used to getting back together after years of not doing it. So hopefully we are experienced in trying to make it look seamless once we get back on the stage. But usually when the first downbeat happens and Perry gets into his trip, it's pretty easy to get lost in that environment and just kind of go back to second nature. Yeah. Fortunately, a lot of these songs have been with us for 30 years, so it should be pretty seamless.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Dave Grohl has this special coming out about the van life, evolutionary period of a band. Was that you guys? Was that Jane's? Were you guys doing that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. We our first tour was in a van with the entire band and the one crew member that we had and all of our gear in a U-Haul behind us, and like literally taking turns driving and just freezing and sick and hating each other and in close quarters. And when you do get to a motel, you all share a room. Like it was the early days were rough stuff.
Well, I was surprised to find out when Dave is mentioning when Nevermind came out, this album is out. It's starting to hit. They're still in a van traveling to shows. It is, this is a groundbreaking record. This is huge. This is rock and roll history right here. And they're still driving around a van. When Nothing Shocking, were you guys still doing the van thing when that came out?
I know that we had a couple of tiers. Okay. So we went from a van to what we thought was a great idea, which was a Winnebago.
Okay.
So it wasn't quite
I want to play that, the Foo Fighters thing for you, the Dave Grohl thing, but then I have an observation about that traffic. I have a question about that. All right, so Dave has taken it upon himself to covering a version of Lisa Loeb's song, Stay. You remember this?
I love that song.
It is a great song.
Yeah.
The video is hilarious.
Because he's
dressed as her. He's wearing he's wearing a dress and the glasses, and he starts off singing like her, and he's looking at the camera. It's a scream.
So for every day of Hanukkah, he will cover a Jewish artist's song, which is very cool.
So it is. It's he and producer Greg Kirsten kicked off the Hanukkah sessions with this, and we have a clip of this if you want to hear this, because it takes a little bit of a turn. So here we go. The video is fantastic because it goes from him dressed as Lisa Loeb to, this strobe and his face close up screaming, his hair in his face. And then they put the two of them together.
Right.
Where he's singing in the girly voice and that rah, rah, rah stuff. It is excellent.
The video starts, I think, the original way that the Lisa Loeb video started, with the guy on a couch, like asleep, and she's standing in the corner.
Love it.
Yeah, and that's always been one of my guilty pleasures, that song.
That's a great song.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, so to the traffic on the Northeast Extension.
All right.
Shut down. Southbound has been shut down.
Is it
for a
moving
while.
or no?
Well, they're moving people off there
All right.
now, and now it's shut down, headed northbound. Let me ask you this. So my wife is just texting me about getting one of my kids in to see a specialist, see a doctor,
right?
And that the only available appointments were for April. Okay, so
crazy.
that's a long ways off.
Yeah.
Let's say that you had your appointment from 6 months ago that you need to get to today, and you get stuck in that crap. Or let's say you have a court date, or you have an appointment with a divorce attorney or something like that.
Something that you will not get another appointment for in months if you miss it.
Because there are people sitting in that traffic jam today that have something
Freaking
very,
out.
very important and maybe not movable that they have to get to.
I'll tell you what you're doing.
What if you have a surgery you have to go to or something like that?
A lot of people have taken to flying helicopters.
And
that's
so
what
they
they're doing.
should. Lemon-headed
They are
chameleons.
lemon-headed chameleons.
Yes.
Really, that is their mode of transportation.
But I'm sure somebody sitting in that crap right now has somewhere very important that they have to be to that might not be able to be rescheduled. What do you do?
It's a big issue.
Well, I don't know. I think maybe we take Bill Weston's advice and just make sure you leave yourself extra time in case there's an accident or some slow traffic. Yeah.
3 extra hours.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. We always try to give, a good 30-minute buffer or something like that, but every now and then something like this happens and you're screwed.
I think some places are like, Sorry. There's nothing we can do. Like, how could, by the way, when a doctor's office says, we can get you in 2024, I tell them, I'm going to be dead then.
Yeah.
Do you think you could find something
Were
sooner?
you told 2024 by a doctor?
I mean, like the wait time is ridiculous. Like, if you're having something going on right now, okay, we'll see you in 4 months. Like,
Right.
what?
Right.
I literally, I've said, I'll be dead by then. Do you think you could get me in sooner? And they're like, okay, hold on. But anyway, yeah. So if you're I think sometimes if you're stuck in that, maybe a court, like I wonder if like a judge would send somebody to look it up and say, was this shut down?
They would have to, right?
You know what? Again, and
would hope they
it's
would.
my deal. The thing, I get so nervous about being late that I will be that guy who leaves 2 hours early. Especially just because it never fails that something somewhere will back up when I need to be someplace. That's why I always figure I'd rather arrive obscenely early than be late. But I mean, there's no way you can account for this massive mess that's going on right now.
Press, you were talking to me and Nick last week about, you were kind of down on yourself. I always make the wrong decision.
Oh, yeah.
I had that happen to me twice. Most recently last night, I was coming home from my daughter's basketball game. I was coming down 422. And just for a brief moment, I was like, you know what? I should probably hop on 202 and go home 202, 252. And I was like, nah, I'll be okay.
Yeah.
And then the second I got on 76, I mean, the very second I took, it was stop traffic.
I was telling this. Yeah. It was Casey and Nick. It was the other day. I was like, do you ever have a time frame where every decision you make is wrong?
Oh, yeah.
And because I've had a few stretch of those lately where it's like, okay, I'll do this thing just to make sure everything's going to be okay. And whatever decision that was I made was the wrong thing to do. Or I might have the opposite where it's like, nah, we don't need to check on that. We'll just go and do this. Yeah. And I should have checked. Yeah. And it's just been the wrong one every single time. Marissa?
So I have an example of this holding an appointment. It's not as important as like a doctor's office or a lawyer, but if you guys remember, there was that huge apartment fire in Conshohocken.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We were just talking about it, yeah.
And so my mom that same day had gone to a new restaurant that just opened on Fayette Street, and she walked in thinking that maybe they could get a table, her and a friend. And the people at the front were like, "No, I'm sorry, we're booked up today." And the whole restaurant was empty. And my mom was like, "Do you guys know there's like a fire down the street?" And like nobody can get over the Fayette Street Bridge and everything's closed. And they were like, I'm sorry, we have reservations and we cannot give you a table. So all of those people that couldn't get into Conshohocken still had the reservations being held.
So you're saying if you want to get into a Conchi restaurant, start a fire.
Start a fire in an apartment building.
Huge
Okay.
apartment.
Yeah.
Apparently
This is
not
where the
even-
road flares come in handy.
No, but
I remember that restaurant. It was a BYO.
yeah.
What are you talking about? What is it?
I'm not going to call them
Blackfish?
out. Maybe.
That's the only one that
That
all
would
right,
do
okay.
that. No, but it was right when they opened, and it was very hard to get in, and my mom had just rolled in, and I will never forget that because I associate those two things together. That just nobody realized there was a huge fire going on. They were concerned about getting ready for service that day.
That is a whole other thing when you walk into a restaurant and they're like, "We're so sorry we can't seat you," and you're like,
Huh?
"There's an empty dining room.
What?
Why not?"
I did this. Okay. So
Well, you know what I did? I did read that there was a list of things at Servers. By the way, I ate Blackfish last weekend. But anyway,
And is it good? I've never been.
Yeah,
Preston.
it's really
Is it
good.
great? Okay, it's
yeah,
on
it's
my list.
fantastic. But anyway, when you walk in and you see that a lot of tables are open, that doesn't necessarily mean that they can seat you.
Yeah.
They might not have the staff ready for to cover all of the.
I always think
at
like
that
the
particular time of day.
the people are coming, like
Yeah.
maybe their reservation's not
That
for
too,
another
maybe.
half an hour or whatever.
Yeah.
I was at a place across the street, and they sat me, and there was nobody in the dining room at all. And they sat me and Chuck in like the corner, and I was like, "Hey, can we sit over there? Next to the window?" And they said, "No, we're saving that for our lunch rush." And I was like, "But I'm here right now.
We are the lunch
I am like, hey, sorry, I beat everybody here
On the front end of the rush.
Yeah, and
we save the good tables for the people who get here late.
And they didn't move us, and I got up and I left, and I've never been back to that restaurant.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And they've
Yeah.
actually changed owners.
Yeah, realize how that lands when you say, "Well, no, you missed it by 4 minutes, and now you're a piece of crap."
Yeah. But Press, to go back to making wrong decisions, I was on 76. I decided to jump off 320. I guess I wasn't reading the signs. 320 was closed.
Oh
And-
no!
Mhm.
So that was your second.
That was
bad
my second
decision
one
in a
where I
row.
was like, and I immediately thought of you. I'm like, I cannot make the
Whatever.
right decision.
Do you ever attempt to get off on a road that still has yet to be built? I've done that.
Have you done that?
Yeah, I drive.
Well-
oh my God, there's no highway here
Dude,
yet.
yes, because
Yeah.
I was in Arizona 2 summers ago, and Waze said turn right here, and so we turned right. We're in the
Right.
middle of the freaking desert. There was no road. It was like it wasn't paved, and I'm
There's
like,
no
what?
roadways. Yeah, it does happen. Some of them are so. Yeah, you'll get those
So
glitches.
you're almost that person. If there had been water around, that would have ended up in a lake somewhere because you followed the. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Casey, two things real quick. There was a movie that you and I went to this summer. I was with Ben, and
Yes.
you left. We left at the same time, and it took you an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours to get home or something like
Uh-huh.
that because I think there was an accident on 476 or whatever.
Right on the entrance to 476.
Right. And so I made the right decision that night, and I did get off at 320, and you have to kind of wiggle your way around because there's all sorts of construction.
You had to go up Arden.
Yeah, and you have to wind your way over to like Upper Gulf or whatever. I'm really curious because that construction on 320 has been going on for at least a year and a half now, and I have no idea when it's going to be done because that whole stretch in between Savona and Conshohocken is closed at this point. Yeah, so I don't know when that's going to reopen.
There are areas that honestly, because they stay so long under construction, that I wipe them out of my mind.
Oh, yeah,
Exactly.
They no longer.
That's one of
That
them.
town no longer exists.
That road
There's-
isn't there right now.
There's a bridge by us that's been closed for a decade.
Yeah.
Oh,
What the hell?
At least
so
10 years.
There was a bridge by us that was closed for about that long because they had found out when they were trying to rebuild the bridge, I guess it had gotten washed away, that there was like a turtle population there that they weren't allowed to disrupt.
Now, this was a structural issue.
Yeah.
And so they just, the state has not gotten around to fixing this bridge.
You get out there and move those friggin' turtles.
Seriously.
Yeah, I know.
It was on
They'll
Gradyville
do it,
Road.
yeah.
And Gradyville was closed for years.
Allen's Lane over by me. It took forever to move this. I don't know what the hell they were doing. And like finally last week I drove down it and it's like it kind of looks the same. What did you do?
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, anyway, I was just curious about that. So if you, if you're stuck in that, because I know I've been, hit all of a sudden hit standstill traffic, and I've just been like, no, not today, not today. Yesterday, sure, I could have dealt with that.
Can't do it.
Not today. And I know that there are people that are in that situation. So hang in there, and hopefully it's moving along here shortly. There was an interesting article I saw, and on first glance, I didn't quite understand what it was. Younger generations like millennials and Gen Zers don't use the phrase "you're welcome" that much anymore, as often as their older counterparts. I'm thinking, What is everybody just becoming rude now, and they're not saying you're welcome?
They've replaced it with something, haven't they?
They have.
And that is?
Well, a couple of different things. What do you guys think would be a good substitute for you're welcome would be?
I'll tell you what I say in response instead of you're welcome sometimes. I'll say no problem.
Yep, that's one of them.
Okay, so when I, oh, thank you. No problem.
Yep.
I'll do that.
And the other one,
That's a good one.
is no worries.
No worries.
Oh, yeah.
I like no worries.
Yeah, I say that all the time.
That sounds kind of nice. So according to a Twitter account holder that was tweeting about this, the theory as to why said, my generation says no worries instead of you're welcome. Number one, to show that doing a favor for someone doesn't need to be a transactional thing and that we're just kind of happy to help. And two, because if they really knew how worried we actually were, they'd never talk to us again.
Like ain't no thing?
Yeah, I like ain't no thing.
Ain't no thing?
Ain't no thing, chicken wing. Another theory is that saying no problem and no worry simply sounds less formal,
right,
and more friendly, and they think that saying something very formal can make the other person feel shy. Language experts note that it's not just English speakers saying no problem, as around the globe, similar phrases are becoming more commonly used to express that doing a favor for someone is no big deal.
So if you were to say, you owe me, right?
Yeah,
After somebody's,
Yeah. You owe me, pal.
You owe me, buddy.
you owe me.
What is the
And
literal?
that time may never come when I ask for a favor.
What is the literal translation of de nada? Is it of nothing?
I don't know.
Yeah, I would think so, right?
Okay.
De nada is
it's nothing.
of
Yeah,
or
like that.
from nothing. Yeah.
Okay.
Ain't no thing.
Ain't no thing.
It's what
nothing.
it is. Yeah.
No thing.
Look
nothing.
at that.
You know,
it
it's-
all pulls
I'm going to
together.
start saying that. I'm going to start saying of nothing.
De nada. Well, okay, yeah, because it's the same in French. It's de rien, and which also means of nothing or from nothing in French. So the way to say you're welcome in French is de rien, which is the same literal translation as de nada.
How about you just like bow a little bit and say e pluribus unum?
Okay.
And they'll leave them confused.
Or you could bump crotches.
Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah.
That's a nice way to say you're welcome. Here, I
Let's
did this.
dock.
I did this for you. Let us dock. I've done you a favor. Now we shall dock.
Let's acknowledge this door opening with a quick docking. Please present your foreskin.
Doc.
Am I in or out?
Dock the halls.
I think you always want to be. Do you want to be the recipient in that space maneuver, or do you want to be the?
You know, it depends.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I can't.
Some days you feel like a nut.
Yeah. Some days you don't.
I think I would prefer to be out.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you guys find out?
Yeah.
Let's try it.
him on.
We're going to go to the bathroom right now.
Try him on for size.
Hey, come on, come back in. Turns out I was wrong.
I thought I knew me.
I'm going to go to Mike, going back to saying you're welcome.
Oh.
Mike, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
What's up, bud?
How are you? Good. So saying no problem is kind of it insinuates that there was a problem.
Right.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, you know, it's coming from a long time restaurant industry bartender. We were always told never to say no problem.
Okay.
It's just say of course, or say you're welcome, or absolutely. Right. It's very simple.
Okay.
But saying no problem. Yeah.
That's one of those little, I understand subliminally you might hear the word problem and it may resonate in some part of your brain or that. It's just a little cautious way to go about it. And I could see being a server.
In a server
that you
situation,
might
exactly.
do that. All
Yeah,
right,
so
thanks,
that you
Mike.
don't imply to the customer that it was any big ain't no bang.
Here's a good one, too, is cheers.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah,
Wings.
Pierre says that a lot.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers,
Right.
yeah.
Yep, he even signs that.
I love Lucy.
That's his thing. Or Night Court.
Yeah.
Night court.
Yep.
Ted Lasso.
Ted Lasso. Yeah. Cheers. Night Court.
Night court. And a night court to you, sir.
Manimal, which was a short-lived series on NBC.
Yeah, some people are texting and saying they don't like no problem. Another one says, no problem makes me think that they are doing me a favor when I'm spending my money at their establishment. Don't like it.
So in a service capacity, I would not say no problem if I was doing that. But when I'm doing it, opening up a door or I do something for somebody and I'll say, oh, no problem.
Then no worries might fall into that same thing because then you're saying, well, you were worried about
Yeah.
it.
I was worried about you. I don't like the way you look.
don't, and then you could look at them clearly and just go, don't worry about it.
You need to calm down.
Don't even worry about it. Bill is shaking his head.
Wait, hang
Bill
on a
Weston in town.
second.
He's gesturing.
Here we
Bill
go.
Weston in town. Something's going on. We've triggered something. Our man about town, Bill Weston, is here. What's up, Bill?
I'm glad that guy from the bar called because it annoys the crap out of me when a waitress says, no problem.
What if, okay.
Really?
So a server bothers you. What if Preston said it?
I guess in context.
If you're walking through a door and Preston opens the door for you, you say thank you. You say no problem.
I don't know, because it insinuates like I was put out. Like it's like I wanted to do that. I wanted to be courteous. I wanted to be an attentive server or whatever. I heard one of the best responses sometimes to thank you is my pleasure.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Or it's a very
pleasure me.
positive.
That's what you
Now,
said.
pleasure me.
Yeah, I am so pleasured right now.
Do you know?
Pleasure me.
May I take this opportunity? Pleasure me.
I like Steve.
I should not have come in
Yes.
here. I should
I
have just
just-
stayed out there at the
That's what I'm
coffee
saying.
machine.
I just
and-
climaxed.
Jesus.
I just shot.
Oh,
Preston,
what is
I'm
that?
going to shoot.
This, Preston,
Thank you.
that is, if you guys haven't seen, I'm holding up a picture that I believe looks like Bill Weston with long hair.
What? Who is that?
It's a guy in a commercial for
Oh.
some beer.
Oh, I saw that commercial yesterday. It's when they're trying to one up each other about craft beers, and the guy comes over and he's like, "You must have mead," and he
the
looks
guy.
like he's
Tell me.
an old
Even
sailor
you
or
admit
something
it,
like
right,
that.
Bill?
Bill, that looks a lot like you.
Oh, God, that's so creepy looking. Please put that out all over your social media. I would really.
I'll post it.
Anyway, yeah, my pleasure. I thought it was a nice, positive response, especially in
right.
the service community where they're like, "It's been my pleasure to serve you. Bring you extra water.
Absolutely.
Bring your steak
Absolutely.
back after the cook
Yeah.
spit on it because it was undercooked.
Right.
You know, all those things. Like my pleasure.
You pleasure me.
Or you could even take my pleasure a little bit further and go, I have enjoyed this so much.
I am.
This
all
is
right.
the highlight of my
I am
life.
so engorged right now.
Yes.
Opening that door. No, it's funny though. It's the way sometimes, like one thing that drives me crazy. I've said it before on the show is if someone is standing by a place and opening up the door, like at the Wawa. There's a guy who does it. Oh, and I will walk and I will get buy him some food or I'll do whatever. But to me, it's like I that's making a thing out of something. I don't need you to do that for me. You don't need to open my door, buddy. Yeah,
I go by
don't
and
like
say,
it, yeah.
I say thank you.
But he wants something from it.
That's a
Yeah,
scam.
but I don't like having some like it makes me. Feel,
I know what you're saying.
It's like putting
He wants he thinks you owe him now.
Yeah. Like,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The guy's holding a door open for you. He just stands there and holds the door open. That's what he does.
I hate
He
more
wants
so.
something
So
from
I
you.
don't mind. I don't mind like if he needs help or food or whatever, and he's doing that for that
Right.
purpose. I will go get a sandwich. I'll give him some money. But you don't
But
need to
now
do-
he's performed a service for you, and now you have to. It's like the bathroom attendant.
A service
I can't
you didn't
stand,
ask for.
Oh, the
I can't.
bathroom attendant.
I can't stand it.
It makes me feel pompous.
Oh my God, damn it! I don't need you to hand me paper towels.
either.
Now I got to give you $1.
Do you
and I don't
understand
wanna
that?
do
Like someone like if you're a professional doorman, okay, that's your thing. But I was like, you don't need to open the door for me. It's like it's okay. If I'll gladly help you without doing that. Do you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, but I'm more on board with Casey and the bathroom attendant. I remember the first time I saw a bathroom attendant. It was at the ballpark with McFadden's at the ballpark, and I was like, what is she doing? Like,
know.
I'm drunk in a Phillies shirt, and I just want to go to the bathroom. I really don't even care if I use toilet paper at this point. Why are you handing me toilet paper?
What kills me, Kathy, is when you go in and it's not like a stack of linens that are the towels. It's they themselves are ripping
Pulling
off
the
the paper
I
from
got
the
it.
dispenser.
Yeah.
It's like
She came at me.
Can
with,
you-
She came at me with a body spray once, and you guys know how I am with
Yeah.
scents. And I was
yeah.
like, if you spray me with that, we're gonna have an issue
I'll cut you.
here.
Yeah, I will.
Can you
Bitch,
say?
I'm gonna coach you.
You can say, "Don't worry, I got this." You know, if you want to go get your own,
you can,
paper
yeah,
towel, right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, just come wipe me.
What I do is, yeah.
I need help wiping.
Yeah.
If really,
Honesty,
okay, fine.
yeah.
then
Are
I'll
we
give you
going
$1
here?
tip.
Because I'm going to need some help. I think I have a polyp, and I'd like you to look at it.
My daughter once, when she was very small, walked into a bathroom with my wife. The first time she saw a bathroom attendant, she was amazed that she had a little bowl of candy. She had little spritz in little bottles. She says to my wife on the way out, "That's what I want to be when I grow up."
Oh my God.
A bathroom attendant. I reminded her that when she graduated Drexel.
Gotta have
But
goals.
honest to God, I don't know why people have, and Bill, I apologize, but like, relax, man. Somebody's saying no problem. no worries. Like at least
They
they're
don't
saying
mean it.
at least they're saying something.
It's a pleasantry.
It's a pleasantry, and like to have like an opinion about that.
But everybody has
I know
little opinions about things. So that, and I understand. It's like me with I don't need a fuss made over me. I will gladly help you out, and I'll gladly participate in the deal. But you didn't need to do this.
Language, I believe, is always evolving, and sometimes I don't think that's in a good way. I think saying "you're welcome" is completely fine. It sounds
fine.
nice and refined and a little bit genteel, and it just is a reference back to
"you pleasure me."
No problem. Yeah. No problem.
Right.
There wasn't no problem to me.
Right, yeah.
Well,
Well, if you actually say it like that, no problem, I can understand if people around you saying it like that.
No problem.
No problem.
I stepped in that myself. I'm sorry. I'm going to roll that back.
So mine is always a sort of a reflexive, no problem.
Mine is, I do say it's all good a lot.
Yeah.
It's all good.
I like that.
I kind of throw that out there.
Yeah. I got a Woody.
I got wood.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm raging.
Yeah.
I'm pitching a tent.
That's pleasure me.
Are you hard?
Yeah, absolutely. And there's even pre-fluid.
Yes.
Oh my God. Bill's running to the pub.
Bill.
left.
You're welcome.
Hey, Bill. No problem.
Pleasure.
And that's how you get rid of Bill Weston.
He's running to the dump button.
Dance on the line as much as you can. He'll leave.
Pre-fluid got him out.
I gotta go. Santa's gotta go.
Oh, Santa left. Wow.
Oh, we got to play that audio. We're in that time of year.
Hang on,
Not
let me go.
December yet.
Yeah, soon. Yeah.
Oh my
Let me
God,
go
we're not
to
even
Sam.
December
Hi, Sam. Good morning.
Yes, sir. Yeah, you guys make my morning. But,
thank you.
I'm a veteran, and I wear different veteran-related hats, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so people are always telling me, thank you for your service. And it's my pleasure to say it was my pleasure to them.
Well, good.
That's cool.
That's how it should be, yeah.
And I volunteered. You know,
yeah.
Sam, I've heard some people say, some veterans say that they occasionally don't like that, or that
I was told by that one time
yeah.
by a veteran.
I believe I've actually heard that too. But for myself, you know, hey, I was in the service.
Yeah.
I enjoyed what I did. It was my pleasure.
All right,
that's excellent, and that's a great way to respond to that, Sam. We appreciate it.
Alrighty.
Yeah,
you guys take care.
Yeah, I was. There was a guy who we went to a shooting range one time. My sons and I, and it was an outdoor shooting range, and anyhow, shotguns were going to different stations.
Flares.
He was taking us around. Wasn't flares, and so the guy was wearing a retired military hat, and before I even said thanks for serving or anything along those lines, I'd called him sir. I go, how are you, sir? You know, just like standard pleasantry. He's like, you don't have to call me sir. Okay, strike one.
Yeah.
All right. And then thanks for serving. No, you don't have to thank me for that either. I'm like, come on.
That's the individual.
And that's what it is.
Yeah.
I can't lump him in with a group of people.
Right.
Because it's for whatever reason, that guy doesn't like that.
Was it number 3?
why.
Please pleasure me.
Which I would have been okay with.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have done it, but I would have been okay with it.
Son, I ain't touching that filthy thing.
But it just it touched off the wrong way. I'm like, I'm just trying to be respectful with the sir thing.
Yeah.
And appreciative with the thanks for serving. And I get back these kind of curt, nope, you don't have to do that. And no, thank you.
Understand,
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I say sir quite often to people. Thank you, sir.
I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, it's just, what I don't like is you, listen, as you say, Casey, proffering something. Yeah. Something. As opposed to someone who you will extend a courtesy to and they walk right by.
Yeah.
Without any acknowledgement whatsoever.
It kind of bothers me that
any effort is welcome.
That people will just, like you're just choosing. It is your choice to get annoyed by this, and it's really unnecessary, and you're doing yourself a disservice. Like, just be happy,
Yeah,
be
they make the choice.
Mm-hmm.
And if we learned anything, it's choosy mothers choose GIF.
That's right.
That's true.
Yes, it
But
is.
somebody takes him, Preston, he probably said the sir thing most likely because he wasn't an officer. he probably wasn't, but I wasn't addressing him in a military sense. It was just like I would to any other gentleman that I'm meeting. How are you, sir?
How are you, Field Marshal?
Yes, exactly. So, but anyway, hang on a second. Let me go to Bob. Hey, Bob. Good morning.
Hey, you MFers are hilarious.
Thanks, mother effer.
Thank you.
What's up, Bob?
Yeah, I usually respond with "Thank you for thanking me."
If someone says thank you, you'll say, well, thank you for thanking me. But, Bob, you're one step away from entering into the loop.
The loop.
Yep.
Because then it goes, well, thank you for thanking me. Thank you for thanking me for thanking you would be the one after that.
Usually I get a chuckle, and that's about it because I think they don't expect that.
Nice.
Bob has just brought up a very valid point, though, about when you start to move out of the verbal realm and are in a text realm or in a thank you card realm.
Yeah.
For people, I have actually gotten thank yous for thank you cards. And then you're like, what do I do now?
Right.
And then it becomes even more problematic with the text, where you're like, and then you're just, okay, how do I ring down the curtain on this back and forth?
Right. All right, one last call, and we got to take a break. I'm going to go to Lenny. Lenny, you are on the air, sir.
Hey, morning, fellas.
Morning. What's up, buddy?
All right. So when I say you're welcome, I mean it.
Yeah.
And if I have to do it, I'll say, hey, no problem or no worries.
Okay.
But back to the reason I called. So I ended up having this girlfriend because she used to answer. She was a waitress, and she used to answer my pleasure.
Okay.
But she said in such a sexy way, it really, really turned me on. So I ended up asking around. We dated for a few years.
Nice.
And then I found out that she just used to say my pleasure to everybody.
Ooh. Was she banging everybody, too?
Yeah. I'm so wet.
Oh, my God. Thank you.
Would that be
I
all?
know. I was so
wet.
disappointed. I was supposed she was so into me by saying, oh, my pleasure.
My knees are wet.
My pleasure. All right, thanks,
I'm
Lenny.
standing in a kiddie pool full of love.
She got good tips.
Absolutely.
Real nice tips.
Will that be all, Bill? Or should I say, Mr. Weston?
No problem.
That weird accent.
All right. We need to take a break. Thank you for your calls. We appreciate it. When we return, the Bizarre File is coming up next, and we have an announcement, too, so stay with us.
It was a Winnebago, literally like a mobile home, and we broke out a window. One of the side windows got shattered somehow. So we were literally touring around the East Coast in the dead of winter.
Oh, no.
With just freezing cold 75-mile-an-hour wind just wafting through the Winnebago.
Did you try to tape up like a trash bag or something?
Well, you try. You try everything. And then finally at some point you're like, fuck it, we'll deal with it. And we just... we just sat there and like dealt with it. But I think that, I think there's something to be said about those old days that like we really, I don't know that we would be the same band without them. We really had to, there were gigs, we were putting in vans and we'd pull up to the club and we would load out and load in our own gear ourselves. So it would be like a Jane's Addiction show. Thank you. Good night. And then start winding up cables and putting guitars in cases and trying to push your amp off the stage, get ready for the next band. I really appreciate having had those experiences. As much as I would never want to do them again, I think they really taught us how to be a band.
I was in my 20s. I was a band guy. I'm a drummer. And so just a couple of last year, I was like, I got together with some guys. We created a cover band, and we went out and we played some gigs. And I tell you what, Dave, on that first night, at 3 o'clock in the morning when we're putting the last bit of crap back into the van, I'm like, what the hell was I thinking, man? This sucks.
It's a little different when you're 17 and you're pushing stuff in. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, right now, like my lower spine cannot handle carrying an amp.
It's just not going to happen.
Dave, we're able to Zoom with you right now, and looking over your shoulder, is that a cuckoo clock up on the wall? And if so, what's the story behind that?
Actually, there's probably 12 of them in this house. I collect them. That's cool. It's just a weird thing. And, cuckoo clocks, when I was a kid, that was like in cartoons, that was the symbol of crazy.
Yeah.
Like if someone was crazy, you'd see a little cuckoo or a bird would come out. And I just kind of came with this whole embracing. I do a company called Dual Diagnosis, which is it's an art/clothing company that's geared at lifting the stigma of mental health issues.
Right.
And, there's a whole story behind the Cuckoo. I don't know if you know about it, but if you look inside that box, it's all complicated gears and springs and coils and wires. There's this little bird that's trapped in there. It can't fly out because it's held down by these weights.
Yeah.
You see the weights that hang down?
Right.
Which could be, its emotional baggage, for instance. And so until it drops that baggage, it can't fly and reach its full potential.
Wow.
And it's locked in this confusing box that's making it crazy. So, yeah, I collect them, and then we also use them artistically throughout the Dual Diagnosis company, and that's spelled DUAL Diagnosis, and dualdiagnosis.com.
Well, I never realized there were so many metaphors attached to a cuckoo clock, but I
think that I invented them, but they were.
But that's good. I can completely see that because I'm fascinated by little mechanisms and the artistry of that stuff, animatronic things, and all of that. Have you yourself ever designed a cuckoo clock?
I designed what I called a cuckoo clock wristwatch. Was when I took that clock and I duct taped it on my arm.
Okay, that counts.
This is a crazy watch, but no, I'm not a tinkerer. For instance, I love watches. I love components. I love things that work like that. But I mean, these things, they're kind of genius, and the implications, like the humorous implications that they contain, are kind of funny, and you just don't see them anymore. But if you look around my house, like I think there's one over there.
Yeah.
There's one there. There's one on the other side. So there's like 15 of them in here. But the best part is that they're all set at different times.
Yeah.
So throughout the day, just a different bird is coming out.
That's great.
And it will literally drive you insane. I mean, if you're not insane already, put up 5 cuckoo clocks. You know what it's like.
Yeah, my sister's actually obsessed with cuckoo clocks as well, but she does not have one. Maybe that is a good gift for me to get for her.
It's a great gift, and they make them battery operated now, but the ones that are really special are the ones that are handmade, that use the actual weight system to have the time tell time. And even the pendulum has to be hung at the right length. Otherwise, it's going to either tick too fast or too slow.
Okay.
So they're very complicated things, but they are interesting to be obsessed with, say the least.
I completely get it. Yeah.
I did not expect to be talking about those.
Well, I'm sure you're not going to expect to talk about this either. Are you wearing a Snuggie right now?
No, right now I am wearing it's like a hooded cape. This is like for outdoors life.
That's pretty
ceremonial outdoor life. And it happens to be 7 a.m. here in LA, and I just happen to be freezing. But I will tell you this, I am not opposed to a straight up Snuggie either.
No, why would you be?
Dave, who would you say between you and Perry, you guys are artists to the core.
Yeah.
Who's a little more quirky in their personality? Is it you or Perry?
We both have a lot of, I guess, independent thought, I would say. Mm-hmm. And, but I would say that, I would say Perry, just because being a front man of a band like this and having to have that sensibility and be on every night and deliver every night, like I get to turn around and hide behind the guitar and like get lost in my instrument, which I love, because I did a solo tour in 2000, and I just came to learn that I didn't love it. I didn't love leading the band. I didn't love being the lead singer. I didn't love the eyes. I didn't love the pressure. And Perry can do that really well, and he, in fact, loves it. So I would say that there is a component to his personality that allows him to be that extroverted on stage and do it with authority and conviction. So I don't know if I would say he's more quirky, but I would say that he has what it takes to front a band.
Yeah.
Better than most, I would say. And I think along with that kind of mentality, you've got to have some walls down, to allow yourself to be that raw in front of people.
Totally.
And while at the same time having certain walls up. So I think it's a microcosm of some kind of very strange dance that goes into being a lead singer. And, he's, as far as I'm concerned, he's one of the best frontmen that have been around in the past 30 years.
Is it hard, speaking to that point about, because you let a lot of you out, with your love of the tattoos and artistry and the cuckoo clocks and things, things that are part of you. Is it hard when you are in the public eye the way you are? And you're talking about Perry being more up front and being the front man, but you are a personality. You are a pop culture personality. Is it hard to know? I'm going to keep this just for me, Do you know what I'm saying? Where you're not always revealing stuff about you.
Oh, no. I mean, things that I like and things that are interesting to me aren't really revealing anything. And those aren't like deep personal issues that whether or not I like cuckoo clocks, I better keep that to myself or I feel exposed.
It's too personal.
Like I don't feel exposed.
Yeah.
But, I've also taken it upon myself, and years ago, I wrote a book and I put out a documentary that were about very difficult things in my life, and I think that the intention and hopefully the joy of that was to help others feel less alone that were in similar situations, whether it's grief or trauma or drug addiction or any of the things that I've been through. It's I like to share with people that there's an alternative way, and that it is possible to get past that stuff. And even though the demon of addictive behavior may be with you for your life, it's about channeling that addictive behavior into an area that can be healthy for you.
Well, yeah,
So,
I'm sober for 9+ years at this point, and I just know that it was important for me to see and interact with people who were living a sober life, a happy and content sober life. But then there were also other people that, like musicians, Trey Anastasio being one of them. I'm a fish head. He had been sober for a couple of years at that point. When I saw, I'm like, okay, here's somebody that's doing it. And I was able to gain strength through them. And so when you do that and you're outspoken about whatever struggles that you have gone through, there are people out there that really do hold on to that and gravitate towards that.
Yeah, I think the one thing that I would say is that, the company I'm running, Dual Diagnosis, is all about mental health. I put out a book that was about my drug addiction. I put out a film that was about my mom's death. It does resonate with a lot of people sometimes, if they've got similar circumstances. But, at the same time, I'm not a doctor. And so those people will come to me personally and say, I'm going through this and I don't know what to do. And I'm like, look, I already told you what I went through and how I dealt with it, but I can't advise, like a doctor would. Like, I don't know what to tell you. That's, you need to find a team of your own. But I think that that's not the tough part. I don't really think there is a tough part to it. I think that as long as you're comfortable with who you are and what you've been through and that, behaviors can change.
Yeah.
I mean, really, that's all we're doing. Like, I may not be doing drugs anymore, but now I'm in line at 1 a.m. at GameStop waiting for the next thing to come.
Dude, all right. Yes, that's exactly. That is the right way to think about it. We all have the same doctor. He's kind of he's on TV in here in Philadelphia, and he says, if I have to, I will write you a prescription for a video game because that's the stuff. To get that joy of something that doesn't have, like you say, you're not smoking crack. This is something you're into.
That's not going to kill you.
Exactly. That you can get passionate. Like, I love living through other people's passions, and it excites me to revisit my own. Your cuckoo clock thing, or just the different things you talk about. That to me is something that people, they sometimes seem reticent to allow themselves. Well, it's just crazy. Should I really collect that, or is that do it? Because we just don't think that way a lot of of times.
Well, ultimately, we're all here for however long we're here, and we are ultimately going to dissolve into the universe or whatever happens.
Right.
So, do what you love, as long as it's not hurting anybody else or yourself.
Yep.
There's really, that this life was given to us for us to enjoy.
Yeah.
And I really feel strongly about that. And frankly, one of the things that I enjoy about life most is being able to perform with this band and to come out and do that with you guys is what is that, the 25th, September 25th?
Correct. Yep.
I'm super pumped about that, and that's, I wouldn't be able to do that had I stayed on the path I was on.
Right.
So it's all, to me, it's all, this. I'm in the bonus round.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely.
I unlocked the little part of the game that allowed me to play in another room.
Yes.
I'm into it.
Dave, we're all excited about that as well. I wanted to ask, so every Tuesday we do a thing, it's called Tat Tuesday, and we give away a free tattoo every single Tuesday. And as a result, we used to do it here in the studio, and as a result, we've had several contestants and winners of Ink Master in our studio actually administering tattoo, which is really cool. Is Ink Master coming back to Paramount Plus by any chance? Do you know?
You know what? I honestly don't know. I heard that they were picking it up. That was the last I heard of it. The only thing that I can assume from not hearing anything is that they're rebooting it with a new cast. That's all I know.
That's all you know? All right.
In fact, I don't even know that because there's been very little dialogue. So I hear that Paramount Plus is going to pick it up. I guess they started a new streaming service.
Yep.
And but I don't know. But I will tell you what's very funny about that is that Ink Master was a show that, it was on 10 years ago. It's hard to believe it was a decade ago that started, and we did 13 seasons. And then during the pandemic, Paramount sold a couple of seasons to Netflix. So now it's on Netflix, but these are old episodes.
Right.
But what that did was that opened us up to a whole new audience that had never seen us. And I started getting messages from people who were angry at me for certain people who got sent home 10 years ago.
Oh my God!
You know what I mean? They thought
it's
it
just
was
now. Yeah.
Fuck you for sending Josh home. He was the one. How dare you? I'm like,
oh my
who's
God,
Josh! I don't even know what you're talking about.
That's great.
But people get very passionate about that. I hope that when you give out tattoos, is there one artist that you use, or is there a resident artist? Or
there's
a shop.
Yeah, we have one shop, several artists within that shop, and there's a guy named Troy here who is he's a big name in the tattoo industry in Philadelphia. Actually, he is responsible for a lot of the tattoo conventions all across the country.
Yep.
So he has a lot of guys and he's also super generous. So
do they get to decide what they are getting, or does it have to be a WMMR?
They have to include
on the throat.
They have to include us in there somewhere, and it can even be very, very subtle. That's all that we ask. So
right.
That's nice.
The rabbit in the Playboy cover. It can be very discreet. So
Some are more subtle.
Do you
than
want to know
others.
something funny about this? Do you see this?
That's the Playboy.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So here's a quick story. I was doing an interview with Hugh Hefner.
We're gonna begin with a story about a woman from Georgia, a webcam model named Lauren Hunter Damon, and she redefined the term crotch shot after discharging a firearm into her vagina during an alleged sex stunt gone wrong.
Wow.
According to the
I'd pay to see that.
Responding police officers of the incident, the female had shot herself in the vagina accidentally. Later, interviews with witnesses revealed that the Sex Pistol turned gunshot victim was apparently alone in her bedroom with the weapon, a 9mm handgun, when it went off.
Man.
Officers were first alerted to a firearm fiasco after receiving an accidental gunshot wound call from the residents. Upon arriving at the scene, a sheriff's deputy encountered EMS Rivers, who's an emergency technician, who was holding the unloaded handgun and spent bullet casing in her hand. She told the officer that Damon had blasted herself in the nether regions. Policing conducted interviews with Damon's 3 housemates, 2 of whom were present during the accident, tried to shed light on the whole thing.
Yes.
Jordan Allen, the reported owner of the firearm, told officers that he was in the kitchen walking back to the bedroom when he heard the gun go off. Upon reaching the bedroom, Allen discovered Damon with a small amount of blood on her leg, at which point she reportedly informed him that she had shot herself accidentally and apologized. Meanwhile, a second witness named Cody Starnes told deputies that his mother, Addie Ruth Johnson, came into his bedroom and reported that Damon had been shot. Allen
it's a family affair.
Allen revealed to officers how her inadvertent vaginoplasty allegedly transpired. Per the report, Allen said Damon has subscribers on a sexual web platform called Chatter, where people pay to see her make sexual videos, and he believes that she was recording one of said kinky clips when the gun went off. Immediately after the accident, Damon was rushed to the hospital. The sheriff's office, they had a helicopter fly her to the medical center, and she was discharged this week. The freak accident, which the department classified as reckless conduct in their report, will likely not result in any criminal charges.
So without getting graphic, was the angle
I don't know if
down?
she was using that as a sex toy or what.
Because you would think it would be more lethal if she was using it as a sex toy.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think she was just playing around with it, and she pulled the trigger, and it shot her. Unfortunately, wasn't pointed in the wrong direction where it would come out of her mouth.
If you do enjoy gunplay when you're naked, heed this advice.
Yeah. A Clearwater man was arrested Thanksgiving morning after getting into an altercation with a pair of sisters over using gym equipment. An affidavit states that the sisters were using an exercise machine while the man, identified as 78-year-old Robert Edward Dovrak, was waiting his turn. Authorities said the man then sat on one of the women to use the machine instead.
Wow.
He didn't wait for them to leave. He sat on her. When the other woman
show you hushy's a thing or two,
told Dorvac to get off of her sister, Dorvac pushed the woman away. Deputies said he admitted to pushing the woman, and witnesses said that he was the aggressor, and now he faces a charge of simple battery. A grandmother in Ontario, Canada, bought what she thought was an educational toy for a 15-month-old granddaughter and was shocked when the dancing cactus started swearing and singing about doing cocaine. The cactus was sold on Walmart's website as an educational toy for $26 and sings songs in English, Spanish, and Polish. The grandmother, Ania Tanner, who is Polish, said that she was shocked to hear the cactus singing about doing cocaine, drug abuse, suicide, depression, and use profanities in the Polish song.
Did the Spanish version have anything profane, or was it just the Polish?
In this story I read, it was only the Polish, but the song used is by Polish rapper Cypus, who is reportedly unaware that his song was used by the Chinese manufacturer of the children's toy. Cypus has taken legal action against the company for using his song without permission. A Walmart spokesperson says these items are sold by a third-party seller on our marketplace website. We are removing the items while we look into this complaint further.
Not for anything, but this device looks like a dildo.
Yeah.
It does.
So it apparently had taken the song directly from this Polish musician who already had obscenities in his music. A man in the Philippines, lucky to be alive after he was attacked by a crocodile that he mistook for a plastic figurine that he could take selfies with. Nahamias Chapada was visiting the Amaya View Amusement Park. Mr. Chapada had been visiting the park to celebrate his birthday, but his day took a turn for the worse when he spotted the crocodile. He believed the 4-meter-long crocodile was simply a life-size model, and the 68-year-old climbed into its pool and pulled out his phone to take a selfie with. Video taken by horrified onlookers showed the moment Mr. Chapada stretched out his arm with the phone moments before the crocodile lunged at his other arm and then dragged him into the water. The footage showed Mr. Chapada screaming for help as the crocodile attempted to drag him under the water and start the death roll, which is the usual way that the reptile will kill its prey. Mr. Chapada managed to break away, fleeing the pool with blood dripping from his left arm. The 68-year-old was taken to a medical center with puncture wounds and fractures to his arm and thigh.
What I think is extra stupid is that he goes into an enclosure that is clearly caged off. Why would you think it was a fake crocodile when there's apparently a living turtle in that same enclosure?
Staff at the park desperately worked to stop the bleeding, and it was later revealed that an 8-centimeter crocodile tooth had been lodged in Mr. Chapada's arm. Following the horrific incident, Mr. Chapada's family have turned the blame on the park, claiming that there were no signs to warn tourists about the deadly animal.
You'd have to be a moron.
Rogelio Antiga, the tourist who filmed the insane video, said he could only watch in horror. He said, I was looking at the lovely scenery around the park when the incident happened. I heard people screaming for help and saw the crocodile manhandling the old man.
Look at this lovely scenery here. His park is so beautiful with the crocodiles, and they have all these great places to eat.
He said,
what a wonderful time.
He said, I thought it would bite off his arm, and I wanted to help him, but I was scared and had no knowledge of how to deal with a crocodile attack. The amusement park has hit back at suggestions that it was at fault for the attack, but did agree that, or they hit back at the suggestions that it was their fault, but they did agree to pay for Mr. Chapada's hospital costs. And there you go. That is what I have in the bizarre file for you. All right, we making an announcement right now? I figured it's 10 o'clock.
This is very exciting.
Or it's after 10 o'clock, and we were going to kind of do it around this time. So, yeah, I'm stoked to pass along this information to you, friends. There is a show coming to town, and it will be May 22nd. We're doing the giveaways in November. So the show will be May 22nd at the Keswick Theater in Glenside, and it's a friend of ours, Mr. Mark Maron. Hey! He's coming to town. And tickets will go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. And there's pre-sale information and complete details available at WMMR.com. And we have a pair of tickets to give away right now. Caller number 17, 215-263, WMMR. You get to go see Mark Maron May 22nd at the Keswick Theater in Glenside. Like I said, tickets on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. But we do have pre-sale, and it's the information is available at WMMR.com. So the 17th caller, you get to go see Mr. Maron. Give us a call. We're going to take a break. We'll come back in a second. More to give away when we return in the form of the lesson question. We'll also get into trash and music news, so stay with us.
And Hugh Hefner was talking about how the bunny, well, first of all, it started out, it was a stag. It was supposed to be a cartoon of a stag.
Right.
And the night before the release, he couldn't sleep. And he got up in the middle of the night and called the designer and said, I hate the stag. You got to come up with something else. So they scrambled at all hours of the night and landed on this bunny, which then became the most iconic thing, in terms of branding.
Wow. Huge.
And he went ahead to tell me that it is probably the #1 most tattooed logo of all time.
The Playboy Bunny.
I believe it.
Wow.
Yeah. And so at that moment, I said, has anybody in the history of tattooing this bunny asked you for permission? And he said, no, actually, nobody's ever asked. And I said, well, then let me be the first. Is it okay with you if I get the bunny tattooed? And he said, absolutely. So I have the one and only Hugh Hefner sanctioned.
Wow.
Like, I wouldn't have gotten this otherwise. But the fact that, what do I care? But the fact that Hugh sanctioned it and gave me the okay, and it's the only one that exists that's like that, was pretty special.
That's awesome.
That's a great story.
Yeah.
Wow.
Pretty
That's
cool.
awesome. Excellent. Dave, we're really excited. Not only that you guys are playing the show, but that you took the time to join us on the program this morning. We really appreciate it.
It's a pleasure, man. I'm looking forward to being out there. And are you guys going to be at the show?
Oh,
yes.
Absolutely. I would not miss your guys' set. So
We'll come back and say hello, will you?
Okay, for sure. Absolutely. Thank you so
All
much,
right,
Dave.
guys.
We'll see you in September. Dave
Pleasure.
Navarro.
Yeah.
How about it? Wow. He's awesome. Super nice guy. And I bet you he could point to every single tattoo and tell a story like that as well.
What you're playing right here, I remember, Preston, when I first heard this song, I was like,
what's
whoa,
that? Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Hey, the Oscars were last night. How about all of that? So yeah, they had a red carpet and the full deal. The documentary feature went to My Octopus Teacher. It's been mentioned several times on the show, so wanted to throw that in there. Accepting was the octopus.
Wow, great.
And there was no wrap-up music. He just kept sucking and clicking and doing that whole thing for a long time. So,
Is that him walking up?
Suction cups, yeah.
That's him walking up to the podium. It was awkward, but listen, I mean, he was the star of the films.
It is a hell of a movie if you get a chance to see it. Think of a nomad land, but with sea creatures.
They really should have put the octopus in the in memoriam section. I don't know why they didn't.
Did he die?
Well, he's an octopus. I mean, the movie came out like 2 years ago.
How long does your average octopus live?
I'll bet
the length of a documentary movie.
I'll bet they live longer than you think.
No,
they don't. They live like a year.
They don't.
Really?
Yeah, watch the movie.
Oh,
Wait,
you saw it too, Kathy?
Yeah,
I saw the movie
great.
and I don't remember that shocking piece of news.
That's sad.
What?
Poor thing.
All right,
well,
I'm
maybe
gonna
it was
check it out.
3 to 5 years.
3 to 5
All right,
years.
see, they're already getting longer lives.
See, he can still
1 year.
He could have accepted the award.
I wouldn't have wasted time with this dickhead then if I was an octopus. I got a little living to do, baby.
All right, Yolanda Hadid
I know Yolanda.
is in love with. Thank you, Casey.
You're welcome.
In love with her daughter Gigi Hadid's daughter Kai.
So she loves her granddaughter?
She does.
Oh, my
Steve.
God.
I told
So
you.
who got the scoop on this
The
one?
news is big here this morning.
Wow.
Don't go to press yet.
Yeah.
I've got something.
She shared a tribute.
Yolanda Hadid, great-granddaughter.
Breaking news.
Do you have a source that can confirm this? I'm not going with this unless you have corroboration.
Well, they heard from an octopus that actually.
In a parking garage.
Yeah.
The octopus was in the shadows, but.
I have it on June 3rd that Yolanda Hadid loves her granddaughter.
Oh my God.
Would you go on record with that?
You are people who don't want this information out.
Oh my God.
He's scared, man.
I'm very scared.
And then he just walked away. That's my new favorite thing. The octopus walking away in a cavernous room with lots of reverb so you can hear it.
I can see you're an octopus. Even in shadow.
He's got a trench coat on.
He doesn't even need a trench coat. He's got like this amazing camouflage.
Listen, he's running now.
Oh, man.
Yeah, Casey, he just blends in with the floor.
It's amazing.
Mm-hmm. A dove formerly owned by Prince has passed away.
Yeah. Well, you know, he was big into the doves when doves cry.
Of course. But I didn't know that he had, well, this particular dove was named Divinity.
Yeah.
Female white dove owned by Prince. She died on Tuesday following a recent decline in her health due to her age. She was 28 years old.
That is an exceptionally old dove.
Yes.
Yeah.
I had a cat that lived to 22, and that seemed like an eternity for a pet lifespan.
Yes.
But listen, I know that some birds like African grays and so on can live for like 80 years.
Absolutely.
But
They usually outlive their owners.
But I didn't think a dove had that kind of a shelf life, for lack of a better
I bathed
term.
in the purifying waters of Lake Minnetonka. And
That must have been
what
what
I
did
attribute
it.
my longevity to.
Well, longevity for divinity.
Following Prince's death in 2016, Divinity remained at his Paisley Park and could be seen during the tours of his former estate.
Divinity conducted the tours.
According to the executive director of the Paisley Park tours, said Divinity's beautiful coo has welcomed visitors since Paisley Park first opened its gates to the public in October 2016. She was one of the enduring links to Prince for thousands of fans. She will be missed.
I would love to go to Paisley Park.
Me too.
I read there was a really fascinating article. Prince started writing an autobiography, and he hired a writer to help him write it. And so a year or so before he died, the writing process began, and then the writer spent a lot of time in Paisley Park. And I've gained so much more of an appreciation for Prince after his death, which makes me feel guilty for some weird reason. But just everything that went into Paisley Park and his life is really amazing.
I was just watching a replay of yesterday of him at the Super Bowl when he did the halftime. It was awesome.
Yeah, and I've his version, along with Danny Harrison and Tom Petty of "While My Guitar Gently Weeps" from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony years ago, is just unbelievably great.
The outside of Paisley Park looks
Looks like a school or a warehouse or
you would
something
not.
like
You would
that.
have no idea.
What I haven't seen are pictures of the inside.
It's pretty amazing. I mean, it's like a modern Graceland. Like it's Prince through and through.
Our old boss has been to parties there, Jim McGuinn, because he's a program director in Minneapolis, and that's where it is.
That's cool.
So yeah, I would love to
Elevator
go
inside and all the whole deal.
So in addition to Divinity, Prince also owned a dove named Majesty, which according to reports were quiet. Both of them were quiet in the immediate days following his death, but they perked up after hearing his music.
I don't want to talk.
And a new generation of doves will continue to live on.
This is what it sounds like when doves cry. I'm gonna throw up.
That's what it sounds like.
That's what it sounds
when
like.
Doves cry.
Yeah, they were upset about Prince's death.
I swear to God, I'm gonna throw up.
Oh my God! Hey, are doves the same things as pigeons?
No.
No.
They're related.
They are related.
Yeah, they're in the same bird family.
That's what I mean.
If you look at their license, there's a delineation.
Okay.
My dad and I used to go dove hunting regularly. We used to blast those things out of the sky.
Dude, I mean, come on.
We'd eat them.
I know, but still, it's like puppy hunting. You know? It's so nice and cute and peaceful.
They're different than the ones that you see. They're gray colored
They kill
ones.
families.
Oh,
yes.
They are all tatted
he was
up.
doing service to the families of Kentucky.
They are literally the symbol for peace, however.
Yes.
I was completely eaten by a dove today. Anyone kill them for us.
Son, we got work to do.
We beat it to death with an olive branch.
I have a hair change story that
That's a cool sound effect.
After splitting from her fiance, Dale Moss, Bachelorette alum Claire Crowley is ready for love and a new pink hairdo.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
I saw it.
Yeah?
I've not seen it.
It's not over the top.
It's not crazy hot
It's
pink.
light. She says she wanted to show that she could do something crazy.
Okay.
As we observed, everything she's done shows she can do something crazy.
Oh, you're right. It's a nice pink. It's like an ombre.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. She didn't go. I was thinking like shocking. Like Katy Perry when she had super pink hair. Anyway.
Getting the tattoo of Florida on her forehead.
Did you see that guy?
I did.
Yes. He's got a tattoo of the state right on his forehead.
Ridiculous.
All righty, buddy. Source tells us she sees her time spent with Dale as something of her past and is ready to move forward.
Can help me to learn about myself.
So she has pink hair now.
Okay, the ombre's good. I kind of prefer the Ganon, bro.
What's the Ganon?
Come on, bro. Keep going. Do it. Finish it.
I'm not finishing
Come on.
It's Ganon, bro. I like the up dog. Personally.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
Here's the tattoo of the Florida, by the way.
That looks good.
Oh,
Man, what is going on?
I know. We have a monitor that's normally in front of us. It doesn't work, and I can't see the photos when they come up. But yes, that's just brilliant. Best performance by an actress in a motion picture drama went to Andra Day for The United States versus Billie Holiday. And overall best motion picture drama went to Nomadland. So there you go. That's our first foray into a very strange awards year.
It was. You know what was one of the weirder things, Preston? At certain points when they were going into a commercial and they had the nominees, they'd put the nominees up and they'd bring up their microphones so that they could sort of like talk and like. And there was, did you see Case? I don't know, because there was a point where Pacino was up for something and they were all, hi, Mr. Pacino, I'm a big fan of yours. And there's this cross talk that's not, no one was overseeing it. It was just like you were listening in on a Zoom call.
Wait, so the crosstalk was between the fellow nominees?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So they did that a couple times. If they ever do this again, they should not do that again.
Yeah, that's kind of weird, right?
It's very weird. And I'm like, is something supposed to be happening?
What was great, though, is when Soul won for best, I think it was best animated. Who do you call it? Tracy Moore.
This would be the right thing for a non-Beatles fan to watch.
Whittle it down to an hour? Like, I would almost turn them over, Nick, to the Beatles complete.
I like documentaries, even if it's a band that I'm not into.
Right.
And so I'm curious as to if somebody goes into it not liking the Beatles, if they'll come out of it maybe thinking a little differently.
You might. It's just so different, as Preston said, in its architecture that you're basically, and then calling it a fly on the wall documentary is exactly what it is.
Yep.
You are just hovering around.
But if you don't want to spend that kind of time, you can watch the Daily Rush video, the latest that is titled "So Many Dicks." Right now, it's the Preston and Steve Daily Rush video.
It's basically the Peter Jackson documentary.
It says the gang reminisces about mean people from childhood, prompting the question, where is that dick now? So if you'd like to watch this, we can have it sent to you on Instagram automatically, right in your feed. Follow WMMR on Instagram, and that's it. You will get it. Sponsored by Xfinity's Gig Speed Internet, and you can learn more at xfinity.com. Giggity, giggity, giggity. Giggity, 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 giggity. All right. Music news. No. Lesson question.
Yes.
And, damn it. Nick, I don't even know where they are. You brought them over here, right?
I handed them. Yeah. You said thank you. I said no problem.
No problem.
You went through the whole thing.
Let's see. What kind of a chameleon is often seen flying a helicopter? 215-263 WMMR. Let's see if you know, all right? What kind of a chameleon is often seen flying a helicopter? 215-263 WMMR. If you know the answer, then you should call because you can win. And we have up for grabs 4-pack of tickets for the Wings and Panther City. It's the kickoff to the season, and it is this Saturday. So give us a call now. We'll do the trash while you're calling out.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
Brought to you this morning by Omaha Steaks, and you want to go to omahasteaks.com. Enter Preston into the search bar to order the perfect gift package. When you use the code Preston at omahasteaks.com, you also get 8 free Omaha Steaks burgers for free. What's up this morning, Steve?
Well, Lindsay Lohan announcing she's engaged to marry her boyfriend Bader Shamas early next year. Lohan says the wedding will be a traditional affair, except that instead of rice, guests will be asked to throw cigarettes.
No.
Oh, my God.
Ty Pennington, former star of Extreme Makeover, The Home Edition, married fiancée Kelly Merrill on Saturday in Savannah, Georgia. Pennington says that even though he's 57 and she's 30, she has enormous breasts.
No.
So that's what he likes. And finally, Michael B. Jordan spent Thanksgiving with his girlfriend Lori Harvey and her family. Jordan says it was an amazing time, especially the next day when they all ate leftovers combed out of Steve Harvey's mustache. And that's Hollywood Trash.
All righty, we need to find out what kind of chameleon is often seen flying a helicopter. 215-263 WMMR. Let's try out Lisa. Hi, Lisa. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right,
Hi.
Lisa,
Hi.
what kind of chameleon is often seen flying a helicopter?
Lemon-headed chameleon.
Yes, a lemon-headed chameleon. Hang on a second, Lisa. We're going to get your info, and we are going to give you a 4-pack of tickets to see the Philadelphia Wings face off against Panther City to open the season Saturday at the Wells Fargo Center. You can experience nonstop action and fun for the whole family. The first 4,000 fans get a Wings home opener T-shirt, by the way. Yeah. You can get tickets at wingslax.com. All right, time for music news.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
I have got big
You're in that helicopter, and you're nothing but a chameleon, lemon-headed, coward, terrorist, and I'm after you, buddy.
All right. Let's get into some stories. Brought to you by KGL Skin, and they're testing a topical treatment for facial acne on teens and young adults with moderate to severe acne. Qualified, you may be paid up to $350. KGLSkinStudyCenter.com. We mentioned this earlier this morning. I'll do it again. Dave Grohl is continuing his holiday tradition of covering Jewish artists during Hanukkah. The Foo Fighters frontman and producer Greg Kurstin kicked off the Hanukkah Sessions series with Lisa Loeb's hit Stay, I Missed You. And Case, can you cue that up? Let's check out a little bit of this. And it starts off in the video, which is fantastic. Him dressed as Lisa Loeb in the kind of sundress and glasses. And I'll play a little bit for you. So the last year that they did this, he and Greg, they covered songs by Beastie Boys, Drake, Mountain, Peaches, Bob Dylan, Elastica, The Knack, and the Velvet Underground. So we'll see what else they have in store.
I like Elastica.
For the 8 days. I agree. Blink-182's Mark Hoppus shared a heartwarming Thanksgiving message on Instagram on the holiday. Back in September, Hoppus was declared cancer-free after battling with stage 4A diffuse large B-cell lymphoma.
It's amazing.
He posted a photo of himself during chemo, along with the caption, "I have so much to be thankful for today." This photo is from June, halfway through chemo. No idea if I was working or not. Relegated to the bathroom floor, retching. And he continued by saying, "If I ever complain about something trivial or unimportant, please show me this photo to remind me of how bad things can be and how truly blessed I am. I hope you all have an amazing day with friends and family. Happy Thanksgiving."
Sometimes you do need that little contextual reminder of what you are, or in ways that you are blessed that had no idea you were.
Yes, agreed.
If that makes any sense.
Black Sabbath's Tony Iommi is back with his first new music since 2017 with the theme to his new signature cologne, Scent of the Dark. So, yes, he has some music for that. Rolling Stone reported the new track is Iommi's first since his acclaimed classic work for the Birmingham Cathedral and marks his first return to rock since Black Sabbath's studio set number 13 in 2013.
Scent of the Dark.
Iommi shed light on his recent session with Ozzy Osbourne, explaining, "As you've probably read, I worked with Ozzy for this album. I wrote the whole track and played on it and played the solo on it. It's horrible, really." He said, "No, I'm joking. No, it's good. It's really good. And I like what Ozzy's saying on it. I think he did a really good job, and I think they had Chad Smith play drums on it.
There you go.
I've left it in their hands now," he says. Regarding how often he and Ozzy connect, he said, "We're in touch quite a lot. We don't really speak because we are useless on the phone, the pair of us. I think we stopped that when he used the phone he used to phone me at 2:00 in the morning, and I'd go, Oz.
I think they're on the same Call of Duty squad.
He said, Oz, it's 2:00 in the morning. Oh, sorry. All right, bye. He forgets about what time it is in England. And, of course, when the phone goes at that time of the morning, you think, oh, Christ, what's that? Somebody's died or something has happened. And so, of course, it's him going, sorry. And I didn't know it was that time. So we tend to sort of just text now, he says. So they are texting buddies these days. One last story about the Beatles conversation we just had. Paul McCartney is but one of the legendary musicians donating iconic instruments for auction for the Music Rising charity. The auction takes Music Rising back to its roots and will help restore the livelihood of musicians of New Orleans and surrounding regions who have suffered through the pandemic. On December 11th, Paul is offering up his famed Yamaha BB 1200 bass guitar. The instrument is synonymous with the final days of Wings and was played on such hits as Good Night Tonight. I always love that song. Coming up, Ebony and Ivory, Take It Away, featured on 1979's Back to the Egg, 1980's McCartney 2, 82's Tug of War, 83's Pipes of Peace, 84's Give My Regards to Broad Street, and 1986's Press to Play. Other musicians donating instruments are Ron Wood, Bono, Bruce Springsteen, Elton John, Lenny Kravitz, Chris Martin, Alice Cooper / Alex Lifeson, Dave Grohl, Pearl Jam, Steve Miller, Vince Gill, Dave Matthews, and others.
That's a big auction.
And you can do a search on that and find out how you can bid on some things as well. And one last Paul McCartney story paid tribute to the legendary songwriter Stephen Sondheim, who died on the 26th at age 91. Sondheim was best known for such groundbreaking Broadway scores as West Side Story, Gypsy, Sweeney Todd. A funny thing happened on the way to the Forum, Sunday in the Park with George and Company, among others. Paul tweeted, "Very sad to hear of the passing of the great Stephen Sondheim. I was fortunate to meet him and chat about songwriting. He was a witty, intelligent man. Send in the Clowns is one of my favorite songs.
Beautiful.
So well crafted and beautiful with it. We have lost a great talent, but his music will live long and prosper. Goodbye, Stephen. We love you, Paul." So that was a really nice tribute that he put out. And that is all I have in music news for you. Let us take our final break of the day before we hand it over to Pierre. We'll be back in just a moment, and hopefully he'll be in here, and we'll find out what our letter of the day for the Word of the Week prize is. So hang close. We'll be right back.
Bergen pronounced it as Saul, right? He goes, and the winner is, and he goes, Saul. And then there was no reaction because there was no movie called Saw.
Right.
And then he realized that he had made the mistake. And then they had cut to the, it was for best original song. But either way, the actors, it was Sudeikis, it was the people that were up for the next award.
Right.
They were having a ball with it. They were cracking up. Don Cheadle was making fun of them, and it was really, really.
I think Pacino didn't realize that he was still on the Zoom call because he was standing in the doorway pleasuring himself.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Oh no, you
How
don't do
awkward
that.
is that?
Feels so good.
Right.
Well, I didn't see that clip, but I did see. I saw a clip.
I'm gonna shout!
Oh my God! Splat.
All over my walls and when my children play with their toys. You were expecting something like that. There were a few people who clearly were not quite up to speed on the tech.
I'm gonna shoot over here.
That was good.
Oh man!
Right after that.
Yes. Sorry, Nick.
No. This is also comedic. He fell asleep.
What?
Did he?
Yeah.
Was he asleep on camera, Nick?
Yeah, I mean, don't you usually fall asleep right afterwards?
Everybody's sleepy, and you've expanded yourself. So the camera pans across his screen, and listen, his eyes are closed, and he looks like he might not actually have been asleep, but he looked like he was sleepy.
There was so much fun pleasuring myself.
Oh no, the poor guy.
I don't feel so good.
That's hilarious.
I'm up on out.
So, according to a new survey presented by the Water Quality and Health Council, 51% of Americans reported using a swimming pool as a communal bathtub, using the pool as an alternative to showering or rinsing off after engaging in exercise, yard work, or whatever it may be. Even though 64% of Americans know that pool chemicals don't eliminate the need to shower, people continue to do it anyway. By the way, the survey comes as experts from the council, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and, which I didn't know existed, the Pool and Hot Tub Alliance.
Oh, that's great. That's what Darth Vader faces off in the second movie.
Work to educate the public on healthy and safe swimming.
We shall crush the Pool Alliance.
Yes, my name is Mortimer Sanchez, and I'm with the Pool Alliance. And we think you're a bad leader.
The survey also revealed.
I don't care.
The survey also revealed that 24% of Americans would go into a pool within 1 hour of having diarrhea.
See, that's now listen.
Yes.
That's why public pools are just not my thing.
Spend all
However,
day on the toilet. You know what I need to do? I need to take a swim.
get some of that residual out.
To check the chlorine and pH levels for a personal public pool, the council is offering free pool test kits through its 15th annual Healthy Pools campaign on its website.
This is the Alliance.
This is the Pool and Hot Tub Alliance.
Did you mention in this story, Preston, particular sunblocks affecting?
I didn't mention this.
Okay.
Go into the pool now.
Peter Cushing.
Moff Tarkin.
This is the finest pool you'll ever swim in.
What were you saying, Nick? Sunscreens?
Yeah, the reason that I bring it up is that I went on a snorkel, not a scuba,
Snookles
or a snorkel, but a snorkel.
It's the latest craze that's sweeping the beaches of America. Snookling.
Get some Beach Boys.
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be
Good
great.
outside, hanging tan, snookling all day long.
Surfing USA, please.
Oh, sorry.
I know what the snookle is, if I may suggest.
At the snookle.
Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen.
Snookle USA.
Like California.
I'm such an idiot.
All right, anyhow.
Snorkeling.
Oh, yeah.
I went snorkeling, and you weren't allowed to wear.
Feel of a snookle. Snorkel at dawn.
You weren't allowed to wear the sunblock that you brought. You had to use the sunblock that they provided for you, and it's because the sunblock that most people wear is pretty damaging to the reef. And I was wondering if it would be damaging at all to like a pool filter or to the saltwater.
These are all good questions.
Whatever,
because some of the chemicals are pretty arch and can have that effect.
Yeah, and I've been snorkeling many times in my life, but this is the first time ever on a snorkel trip where I had to do this, and you weren't allowed to wear what you had, what you brought.
They provided.
They provided it.
Do you
for
remember what it was? What type it was?
I don't. It was like an industrial vat.
It was called Reef Killer.
Yeah.
Reef Killer sunblock. A snorkel, by the way, as you're snorkeling, has a second tube that goes up back onto the beach so that someone could load M&Ms into them so that you can eat.
You're hungry.
So that's what a snorkel is?
A snorkel is a second food tube.
Okay.
So that you can swim longer.
Everybody wins.
That's great.
They do have snuba. Snuba is legit.
I've heard of that, yeah.
Snuba.
Apparently snorkel is legit as well.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm serious.
If you can swim, you can snorkel. Yeah, he's absolutely right. Snorkel offers shallow dives.
Approximately 10 to 40 feet without cumbersome tanks and no diving certification necessary. That looks like snuba.
It does.
So what
hose,
what
right?
they do is, they have a floating tank that stays above the water, and you basically take the regulator down, and it's a long tube, a long hose that you can breathe in. We're getting ready to get recertified to go into a refresher course for scuba to get set for our vacation. So I'm looking forward to it. But I'll ask about snorkel.
Yeah.
Zombie raccoons. That's my thing.
Yes.
That clumsily walk on two legs and show their teeth are staggering around suburban Chicago, and authorities are warning locals to hide their pets. A spike in raccoons testing positive for distemper in Riverside, Illinois, is to blame for the bizarre sightings of contaminated animals that the disease causes to appear zombie-like. While zombie raccoons don't eat brains, distemper is highly contagious. If you're feeding wildlife and that raccoon ate out of your bowl, or cat food for your stray cats, and your puppy goes over, the saliva can be contagious.
They sent in a Negan raccoon to take care of everything.
Well. Looks like we got ourselves a problem in Chi-Town. Leaning back high. Looks like we got some trouble. Some trouble in Chi-Town. Going deep dish on this bitch.
It's got a little leather jacket he wears. Yeah.
Lean back, wait for. Hey. In the home of Oprah.
There was an email that was sent out that we were going to have our studios checked because there may have been bed bugs brought into the area. And we've had everything checked out. They actually just brought a dog in to sniff. Yeah, I think it was Jack Russell is what it looked like.
Yep. Josie was her name.
Josie is the dog. And there's no bed bugs.
Well, no, that's not true. There were on a chair.
Oh, was there?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Or yeah, it was certainly like a warm zone or something.
A warm
like that
zone.
They call those.
That's
So
what I call my chairs at home. Yeah, my warm zone.
I think what everybody was worried about was an infestation, which I guess
when him on the West Coast. But the Wings have their season opener at home this Saturday night against Panther City. Panther City is actually Fort Worth, Texas. But I don't know why they go at Panther City. I
guess so. Yeah, the second you get off the plane in Texas, you're impressed by how many wild packs of panthers there are.
That's right. But the game is this weekend, so it was nice to have him on. And we also revealed the information about a show with Mark Maron, who's going to be at the Keswick Theater. And that show will be on Sunday, May 22nd. Tickets go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m., and there is a pre-sale, so you can go to WMMR.com to get the information. Also, we're going to be giving away tickets all week long, so you'll have your chance to win if you stay with us. Pierre Robert is back from his holiday weekend, which, of course, was spent, a portion of it, right here.
Yes, we had a crisp 7-hour show on Thursday of Thanksgiving. Thanks to Pancake for coming in. And
it was fun. I listened, to a good
thanks.
portion. I always, to me, I have to. That's part of the holiday. Yeah.
Thank you.
7 hours?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Wow, that's a long shift.
That was a long show. I've gone longer.
Yeah.
But that seemed about right to land the plane. And 3 playings of Alice's Restaurant. And that was fun. 10 a.m., 12 noon, 2 p.m. We have this 25th anniversary version or 30th anniversary version that I play at noon, which is even longer. And at the end of it, Alice or Arlo suggests that the 18-minute gap in the Watergate tapes is actually the original Alice's Restaurant.
Yeah.
It's
I love that
hysterical.
story. Yeah.
It's hysterical how he sets it up in the course of this long weaving tale. And from someone who does long weaving tales, I can appreciate that. And then we do the original version on vinyl at 2. So, and then lots of other stuff.
And you fit in that home song that I had suggested.
I did do that. I texted
Phil,
you.
Yeah, Phil Phillips. I'm gonna make this place your home. Because he was talking about playing home songs. I was like, that'd be a good one. I know it's
Great
not
song.
really
Sure.
an MMR song, but I thought
No, it sounded really nice.
Excellent.
Yeah, thank you for that suggestion.
Yeah, no problem.
And thank you also. I don't know if you guys came up with this, but Marissa may have done it, but God bless her. She, the Preston Steve flashbacks, which run all weekend long, were only flashbacks of these crossovers is what we call this.
What?
That's very cool. Marissa had to do that.
And so Marissa must have put some great effort into it. So it was some of our more comical flashbacks of moments, and I can't think of what they were at the moment, but they were hysterical. And
I'm sure the one where you cursed, where you dropped like an F-bomb, like a blatant F-bomb, that had to have been in.
I can't remember which ones, but I mean, and Steve would just come sailing in with some hysterical line that would make me just lose it. Yeah, he kept adding things to things. I was talking about rubbing my feet in the grass, and then he acts like he's a housewife calling the police. There's a man out here rubbing his. Something's right. He looks very strange, and it was great. So, nice. But all the flashbacks of the Preston and Steve show were of these conversations, which we call a crossover, when one show ends and another begins. And there was all this Pierre stuff over the weekend too. I think she just might have given it to you, right?
Yeah, we have one here.
All right.
Oh, we have one? Okay, let's hear it.
WMMR rocks. The Preston and Steve Show.
Bono is in town. Pierre, will you be there?
I will be there.
Any chance to chat with the man?
It will be a difficult task, but we will try. 2 out of 2 times he's been here, I've gotten him.
He likes this big demand, but he seems to be an everyman as well.
Once you speak with him, he's amazingly funny.
How's Lucy? You're still paying ungodly amounts of cash to give that dog limo rides? You could cure AIDS in Africa in one shot if you put the dog up in a kennel for a goddamn day. Jesus Christ. What do you draw up on that? $25,000 every time? His entire village is getting wiped out while the dog is sitting in the back with some fancy feast on a plate.
Oh, my stomach hurts.
Preston and Steve.
And there you go. So those all aired this weekend.
God, they were so funny. So, and they had Pierre flashbacks for a Pierre weekend for the 40th anniversary at the top and the bottom of every hour. So it was a nice weekend.
You know what's great also is the photo gallery. The just tremendous amount of just pictures that, there's one right after another of these iconic, and I'll call them iconic because they are you at different venues and things. Just really cool.
Yeah, those were very nicely done. And the other thing is the welcome home ID that you like. Sarah and Marissa and Nick Murphy made into a video.
Yeah. Yes, I loved it.
There's a little minute-long video of it, and really nicely done, too.
Yeah,
so that's
I
at
agree.
WMMR.com. So
check all that out.
Lots of stuff.
All right, we'll do the letter of the day. Here we go.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
And the Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by the letter
H as in hip.
All right, and we have one letter, 4 more to go. Flyers Santa Sack is what we're giving away. You can make it an unforgettable holiday season with Flyers Santa Sacks, and each gift pack includes game tickets to the game tickets and the 2021 collectible gritty ornament,
Whoa.
autographed items, and more. You can shop at PhiladelphiaFlyers.com to get in on that. What's up on your show today on this Monday morning?
Workforce blocks of Soundgarden and also Bob Dylan, who opens a 2-night stand this evening, and something else.
All right.
That sounded very bovine-like.
Yeah.
If you talk to cows, you got to get bovine.
I'm going to thank our sponsors, Preston.
Always said.
That's what. Yeah.
That should be a T-shirt, man.
Yeah.
Always
said that.
Talk to cows, you got to get bovine.
Preston and Steve Show brought to you today by Dunkin', the official coffee of the Preston and Steve Show. Meineke for tires, brakes, batteries, exhaust systems, and more. Meineke doing car care right. Tomorrow on the program, is Frank Caliendo going to be in our studio?
He is, yes.
Wow.
Flying in just for us.
Rare in-studio guest tomorrow.
How about that?
So Frank's great. We'll talk to him. It's Tattoo Tuesday, so we'll give away some ink. And tomorrow we'll have the official ending of the Acme totals for Campout because they were collecting all the way up until the day before Thanksgiving.
How awesome.
So we will see what the monetary totals come in at. That is it. We're done. Rage on and have yourself a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.